Excellency the Vice President, the Regional NRM Vice Chairman, Mike Mukura, the Ministers, Members of Parliament, all the district chairpersons, all their leaders, the mayors, and the security personnel. Now, the reason I called this meeting is to catch up on the security situation in the area. These security situations are not really serious, because we have the capacity to guarantee security in the whole country all the time, but because of some gaps, you find that problems crop up and waste our people's time. Therefore, before I make my own remarks, I want the division commander, who must be here, the division commander of 3rd Division. This is the division which is based in Mbare. Wananchi who don't know about army, you start with a section are 12 people. 3 sections give you a platoon. 3 platoons give you a company. And 4 companies give you a battalion. Now, and 3 battalions give you a brigade. And 3 brigades give you a division. So therefore, 3rd Division should be having 9 battalions looking after this area, the area of the whole of the Eastern, actually, from Busoga to Bukedi, Mbare, Bugisu, Sebei, Teso, Karamoja. This is all the responsibility of that 3rd Division. Now, we have another division known as 5 Division. It is based in Achoripi. Achoripi is in must be Pader or Agago, one of the two. That one was put there mainly as a reserve. Then the Acholi area, the other side, there's another division called 4th Division. So the commander here should come and brief you the way he briefed me yesterday. They briefed me yesterday. They were all here, the police leaders, the ESOs, wildlife, they are all here. Stand up, you people, if you are here. Where are you? Okay, so come please and brief these people, then I will summarize.
Good afternoon, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, Your Excellency, the Vice President, honorable ministers, members of parliament and the other leaders, I want to take you through the security situation.
But before he, before he makes his speech, you here, you are the victim areas of the cattle rustling by the Karamojong most of the time. And I will go separately to Karamoja and also deal with them separately. But yesterday I was told that even you people, especially the Bagisu and the Sebe, that you're also learning the bad manners of the Karamojong, and that you are also stealing one another's cows, and even going to Kenya and stealing from Kenyans also. I also heard that. Then I said, but this Bagisu and Basabe, are they stealing you with sticks or with what? These commanders said they also have some guns, a few guns. So that one is now new information. But also the Bateso, like yesterday our Vice President here talked about a phenomenon which had almost happened in Kaperabiong, where people were beginning to run from the villages to start IDPs again, to run to the sub-county and gather there for security. But you know me, I'm a rumors picker. I pick rumors from all over the place. I had heard a rumor, because you see the Karamojong, they are like a certain child who was fond of crying for nothing. The child would cry, the mother runs, find there is nothing. Next time the same, Then one time, he was actually bitten by a snake, and he cried. The mother said, that child is always crying. So the mother didn't bother, only to come and find the child this time was really crying seriously. Now the Karamojong, they are troublemakers. Nobody really pays attention to them, even when they are in trouble. Now, according to what I was told, that incident which the VP talked about yesterday, apparently the Bates also were not entirely qualified for going to heaven. Because they had gone to a dam in Karamoja and either killed or beat a child or something like that. Did you hear that story?
True.
They had gone inside Karamoja and either killed or did something. And then there was a rumor that the Karamojong were coming to revenge. That's when people panicked and started going to the sub-county. Did you hear that rumor yesterday? That rumor, you people? Who had that rumor that the Bates also, this time, the way to heaven may have been... Did you hear that story?
Your Excellency, what happened? Some Karamajongo had crossed Kaperabyong. Then to
look for water.
To look for water. Mm-hmm. And no, the Karamajongo had some kraals in Kaperabyong. So they were on a motorcycle moving to their kraals. So the Itesot bounced on them and killed 3. Oh. In fact, one of the killed persons was a UPDF soldier. Immediately after the killing, the Itesot started running away, thinking that the Karamojong will come and revenge against that killing.
Now you hear, so you see, I'm a well-known rumor picker.
Your Excellency, as we all know for a long time, Karamoja sub-region has been characterized by armed cattle rustling, killings of innocent civilians, theft of household items, rape, among others. Such a criminality was extended to neighboring sub-counties of Teso, Lango, Bugisu, Sebei, and Acholi, perpetrated by these criminal elements from Karamoja. The government of Uganda conducted a campaign in disarmament in Karamoja that concluded in 2009, where over 40,000 guns were retrieved from illegal hands in order to curtail criminality and foster economic development in the sub-region. In 2019, there was a resurgence of cattle rustling in Karamoja, also affecting the neighboring sub-regions, that is Teso, Acholi, Bugisu, and Sebei. In response to this emerging threat, the Uganda People's Defense Forces, the Anti-Stock Safety Unit, which we call ASTU, and intelligence organs launched a disarmament operation codenamed Usalama kwa Wote. That was in July 2021. From that start of the operation in July 2021 to date, there have been efforts made in retrieving guns that were used by criminals to terrorize Karamoja and her neighborhood. Since the launch of that disarmament, Usalama kwa Wote, a total of 307, but now we have 309 guns. By this morning, we recovered 2 guns. 309 guns and 2,592 rounds of ammunition have been recovered so far, while 441 rounds of ammunition, 441 criminals were arraigned before the Division Court Martial, DCM, and are serving various sentences. With the efforts made as highlighted above, the situation did not significantly change due to manpower gaps and logistic challenges, leading to escalation of cattle rustling in the months of January and February. On 10th May last month, 2022, we held an operation review meeting in Moroto to review the concept of operation and mode of its execution. In that meeting, it was recommended that since the division received additional manpower, simultaneous operation be conducted across the 9 districts of Karamoja, and also enhance deployment in neighboring districts to deter criminality. The 9 districts of Karamoja, if you hear about Abim don't conduct raid. Then Karenga, but Karenga, they were saying, Your Excellency, that they don't go for raid. But we intensified our intelligence to find out whether Karenga don't raid or they raid. We discovered that Karenga, as you are saying, Your Excellency, a child crying, but then we discovered that also Karenga do raid in Kotido. Recently, when we launched this simultaneous operation, we have so far retrieved 4 guns from Karenga. The sub-counties that do raid in Karenga are Kawarakor, Kapedo, and Sangar. These are sub-counties that are close to Dodos, Kabongo, that some of the criminal elements that remain within the district, the new districts of Karenga, they also go for raids. It is not entirely that Karenga don't raid. Only the tribe called Napole, those are the ones that don't go for raid. But the elements of Dodos within Karenga district go for raid. Your Excellency, the meeting further recommended that profiled fugitive warriors should be targeted in manyatas, grazing area, trading centers, where they drink from, and in the markets where they sell stolen cows. The network of warriors targeted by this operation includes, so when we sat in our review meeting, we were all along, we have been targeting the gun-wielding people, the criminals, that we arrested a criminal, we have arrested him and we have interrogated him and we recovered a gun. But that was not enough because we are following one person with a gun. But in our review meeting with commanders, we discovered that we need to go a step more, and we identified 5 people that are involved in cattle rustling. One is that one with a gun, a warrior with a gun. The second one was an armed warrior with bows and arrow. The third one was that one with a stick that drives the cows. The fourth one was the informer or the collaborator that helps the other party, the 3, to have the reconnaissance and get the cows stolen. Then the 5th one, we said these are suspects that maybe are not well profiled, but eventually they fall into our net. So our operations started by attacking the grazing areas, picking the criminal elements, and even recovering the guns from them after fully interrogating them. And even those ones that have bows and arrow, they have also been arrested. For example, the recent one and the one which is going on, I will talk about of yesterday. In Kanawat, we arrested 832 suspects who are undergoing screening this morning, so that we pick out those ones that we suspect to have committed the crime. We have gone ahead to ask the CIDs and intelligence to make to conduct some analysis of the raids that were conducted in the other districts, so that we ask people the raids that happened, either conducted by the GA or by the Dodos or by the Pian, and if they say that we were raided by the Bokora, so the Bokora CIDs will try to understand who exactly on such and such a date raided Pian. And Pian will also tell us that we were raided by Bokora. So we shall have suspects on both sides. Those ones with guns, bows and arrow, sticks, collaborators, and other suspects that we may not know during our interrogation. Your Excellency, for example, the yesterday operation in Rorengechora, Napak, some civilian volunteered information. We have 18 people whom the civilian said that these are raiders who normally go to Pian. They testified and we have them in our custody. They will appear in court. This operation, which has lasted for 3 weeks, has so far resulted in recovery of 89 guns, 330 rounds of ammunition, and 1,154 suspects arraigned before civil courts, while others are pending to appear before DCM, especially those with guns, Divisional Court Martial. As a result of this intensified operation, there is a drastic reduction of criminality both in Karamoja and neighboring sub-regions. The new phenomenon of escalation of cattle raids was driven by commercial aspects as well as unregulated markets and the introduction of animal checkpoints. As well as unregulated markets and movement of livestock. This has been managed by us too through introduction of animal checkpoints, squads to regulate the movement of animals by using Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries guidelines in regard to the movement of livestock in the country. There was also readjustment in command to improve command and control, deployment of police crime intelligence to counter possible compromise at checkpoints, and the deployment of ASTU in the markets during the market days to help victims identify stolen animals in the markets. Your Excellency, on the issue of recovered animals being kept for long at the detachments, the 3 Division Command issued a directive to all unit commanders that all recovered animals should be handed over to the rightful owners within a period of 7 days, after proper identification and verification by the conflicting parties. On this one, sir, we find that the conflicting parties don't agree. There is a lot of debate by the local leaders, and that keeps a delay. And you find some local leaders, especially on the other side, where there are victims, they want UPDF once there are exhibits, and they are saying, you get our cows, 50 were raided. So can you the commander, help us? Because these are 10 recovered, can you help us chop the 40 so that we top up on 10 and we go? But for us, we are saying, this is not our role as UPDF, our role is custody, so that the leaders discuss on the issue of where are the rest of the cows if a suspect has been got with 10 cows. So there is that contestation. The delays of the handover of recovered animals is largely attributed to local leaders from both victims and perpetrators failing to agree on the matters related to contestation on the figures stolen animals against the recovered. So that's where there is a problem. But UPDF cannot keep the animals when actually we don't know which cow belongs to who. That is Karamoja, Your Excellency. On the general security situation of Sebei, Bugisu, Teso, the sub-regions are relatively calm. However, these sub-regions occasionally experience incidents of cattle raids, as I've said, from Karamojong. But Bugisu and Sebei sub-regions, on the other hand, experience cross-border related crimes such as cattle thefts, smuggling, and illegal entry. These cross-border related crimes are being addressed through engagement between Uganda and Kenya local authorities. And this is done by the resident district commissioner and their counterparts. And on this side, with the DSOs, RISOs, they normally meet. Your Excellency, there is also unsettled boundary disputes involving the local communities in Sebei and Bugisu against the Wildlife Authority, which continues to have confrontations between these communities and Wildlife Enforcement Agency. In Sebei, the delayed settlement of communities displaced by national park continues to cause conflict between Uganda Wildlife Authority and local communities, as evidenced with continuous trespass and encroachment into the park because they go there grazing the animals. Yesterday, I informed His Excellency the President and members that continuous grazing of animals in the park, the livestock, especially cows, they may get diseases from the park, or cows take diseases to the wildlife. In an attempt to mitigate the conflict between the communities and UWA, the government reopened the park boundaries temporarily, settled people, but this did not completely resolve the problem. Fighting general crime is the core responsibility of Uganda Police. However, the police manpower, as you are aware, is too thin on ground to effectively carry out policing activities. And in some cases, some local leaders have been requesting the UPDF to have a backup to police. On 14th May 2022, there was an outbreak of anthrax, mostly in Bududa district, that left one person dead, 13 others infected, and 26 cows died of anthrax. While in Manafa and Amusindwa district, cases of anthrax have also been registered and no deaths so far. If not addressed, it is likely to spread to the entire sub-region and beyond. In response to this outbreak, the government has imposed a quarantine in the 3 affected districts. On 29th May 2022, a wider and deeper cracks were seen on the slopes of Mount Elgon in Bududa sub-county, Bududa district. The cause of cracks are not yet known. The cracks were measuring 2.4 meters deep, stretching surface area of over 350 meters long. This has caused fear among the communities living there, given the previous historical experience of landslide. Your Excellency, we have also been getting information of some cattle thefts from Kenya by some criminal elements from Bugisu and from Sebei, and they go through Mount Elgon and cross over to Kenya and steal some cows. And here in Kapchorwa, they have also, Kapchorwa and Bukwa, they have been complaining of cattle thefts by the criminal elements from Bugisu, especially from Silonko. Especially from Silonko. And in our deployments for the last 2 weeks, we have not registered any theft, but because of our deployment, Your Excellency, intelligence have profiled around 15 people from Silonko who are thieves. They cross over to Kapchorwa, cross over to Bukwo, and even cross over to Kenya and steal cows. And they end up in the butcher in Silonko, Mbale, and sometimes beyond. Your Excellency, we discussed some recommendations which I think will be addressed to handle the issues of insecurity in the sub-region. Briefly, that's what I can report within the 3rd Division area of responsibility.
So there are two aspects to note, which I would like the meeting to note, or three. The first aspect is that the disarmament, which Brigadier Warikudembe talked about, was very successful, the one which happened in the years, some years ago, where we collected 40,000 guns from the Karamojong cattle rustlers. But as he said, about 1 year or 2 years ago, there was a resurgence of this cattle rustling. And it was apparently caused by partly removing 5 division, which was in Achori P, for training. You see, the problem with the army is a fighting force. It's not a police force. It is not securico. To remain running after thieves, 1 soldier, 2 soldiers, then they forget being army, because army acts in force, in numbers and with big force, not individuals. So it's very dangerous for all these army units to stay just like that, following thieves. When you have a real problem, then the army will not be ready. So we removed 5 division there to go and train, and they have been training. Now, our indisciplined Karamojong thought now there was a gap, so they can do what they want. But also, I think a part of 3rd Division had been removed to go for Somalia or something like that. So that's what misled the cattle rustlers to think that they could again start their misbehavior. But the third aspect is what Barukudembe talked about. That before, they were targeting only the one who is armed and ready, which he quoted. They said no, it's not only the one who is armed. We should add also the one who, not only the one who is armed with the gun, even the one armed with an arrow must be arrested. Arrow and bow. Number 3, there is the one with the stick who is not armed with the arrow or bow, but he has got a stick, but he's the one driving the cows. Driving banyankore call it okufunya, when you chase cows before you. So those ones also are being arrested. And then he said number 4, there is the one who is a spy for the cattle raiders in an area. And then you said number 5 was what? Barukudembe? Oh, okay. The people who are known, who are suspected, whom they have information about, what they call profiling, but who may not be raiding at that particular time. So all these 5 are now being targeted. And by doing that, You can give the results, Barukude, and what happened when you did all that week by week?
Your Excellency, the first week when we began our operation on 16th May, we recovered 22 guns and so many rounds of ammunition. The second week, we recovered 26 guns. The second week we recovered 35 guns because the operation was picking the momentum. Then the third week, so far, we since yesterday and the other day, before I left Karamoja, we had 21 guns, and we are still continuing. Even today we recovered more guns, but by close of the day, we may have more than maybe 8 to 10 guns from these suspects, especially the ones that have been arrested in the whole of 9 districts of Karamoja. Excellent.
So therefore, this time we are going to target all people either raiding or aiding raiding. Now, there is an argument which has been there that, you know, cattle guns can't be stopped inside Uganda as long as you have guns in Turkana, Kenya, you have guns in Topotha in southern Sudan, you have guns in Ethiopia, you have guns in Somalia. We don't accept that argument. Because on the western side of Uganda, all the way from Koboko, from Yumbe, all the way to Kisoro, through Kasese. You know very well there are guns in Congo, there are guns in South Sudan. There are even wars going on there. But you don't find any guns entering Uganda through those areas, because the community there doesn't support it. They don't accept. The Kasese people at one time had got that culture, but because of the serious operations we carried out, they gave up that habit. So the guns are there in Congo, in South Sudan, but Ugandans are not concerned because they have got out of that culture. So therefore, the Karamojong will have to get out of that culture of guns. And we were talking about here, yesterday, one of the commanders was telling us that there are what they call witch doctors who bless cattle raiders, and there was a proposal that we should talk to the witch doctors, which we shall do. But I told the commanders that while we may talk to the witch doctors, the more serious way of persuading people is to kill the raiders in spite of having been blessed by the witch doctors, because that now becomes scientific proof that magic does not work. Because you remember that was the problem with Lakwena. Lakwena was telling people that because I have smeared you with shea butter oil, the bullet will not catch you. And when so many of these young people were killed, they abandoned Lakwena. So we are really going to handle this issue. We have now increased the manpower. But as I was saying in my speech at Kororo the other day, this is a waste of money. We had reduced the army from 100,000 in terms of manpower to 40,000 in 1991. And we were concentrating on less manpower, more equipment. Equipment is better than manpower. Why? Because if you put the tank there, it is only when you start the engine that you spend money on the fuel of the tank, which you have, whose engine you have started. But the human being, whether he's active or not, you must pay him, you must feed him, you must deal with his malarias, and they come with our granddaughters. The granddaughters are delivering all the time. So really you squander money for really something that should not happen. So therefore, these people who, the responsible leaders, should educate our people that this money they are squandering through so-called security operations is their money. This is the money that should be building more roads for them. Incidentally, yesterday I was teasing the people who are here. You know, Banyankore have a lot of words. There is, for instance, when you have food, but the food does not have salt in it. I don't know whether in Ateso there is a word for that. Food without salt. No, I don't want a description, I want one word. Somebody come and tell us on the...
Epiana is the word. Epiana.
Epiana.
Latin. Yes.
And in Sabine?
Your Excellency, in Sabine, it is Tai Tai.
It is what?
Tai Tai.
Tai Tai?
Yes.
Okay. And Bagisu? Bagisu?
If it's just salt, we don't have a word for anything.
So,
Your Excellency, I don't agree with that. We have many words, but where I come from, something which is not tasty is Shitswano. So we cannot say we don't have the words are there.
Sichwano.
Shitswano. Shitswano.
Sitwani.
Shitswano.
Sitwanu.
My name is Wanda.
That means it is not tasty.
It is not tasty.
but not particularly for salt.
Not for salt.
Uh-huh.
Eh.
But because it could be tea without sugar. That would be Sichuan also.
Yes.
So the Bagisu need technical assistance in terms of language.
But thank you.
Your Excellency, Washaki Ahmada is my name, RCC Mbale. Shitswanu in Rumasaba means something which is, if it is meat, it doesn't have any fat, and it is not actually tasted for 18 years. But
So,
without salt, we don't have any word in Rumasaba.
now, the Banyankore, do we have some Banyankore here? Banyankore other than Barukudembe. Some Banyankore come and help us.
Your Excellency, I'm Town Clerk Kapchorwa Municipal Council. Something that is saltless is called Ebinyiga. Ebinyiga.
Ebinyiga, yeah, Ebinyiga. Ebinyiga is Epiana, and Tai Tai. For the Bagisu, we shall have to give them technical assistance. Now, yesterday, I was telling the commanders here that before the NRM, this country of yours, Uganda, was Epiana, was Tai Tai. Because it was there, it is food all right, but if you don't add salt, it will not be tasty. And that's why I was telling them about these roads, like this one which the chapterist was talking about, from Bare all the way to here and now all the way to Swam. This one going to the training school, I don't know why they discriminated me and left me out. They just take me for granted. Oh, that one. HR will sort it out. So, because of the government and all these roads, except this one of Swam, from Kapchoro was done with the loan from I think ADB. But the other roads, like this one here, and the ones from Bari, and the ones from Tororo to Soroti, from Soroti to Moroto, these are all done by Uganda government money, Uganda government budget money. So when you have got people forcing us to spend money on things like more LDUs, more, this is really, they are wasting their own money. This is money which would help, which would solve so many problems for them. So really the people in the villages, you should be very strict with these indisciplined actors. To waste money. This would be adding more sweetness in your country, more roads, more pipe to water, more electricity everywhere, more schools. But anyway, we shall handle this insecurity as the commander told you. Now, then there are the other issues which are not strictly security, but which can degenerate into the issue of the boundary between the wildlife and our people here, the Sabine here, and the Bagisu on the other side. I don't know whether somebody has got information on that. Let me see in my brief if there is anything there. Where's my brief? If somebody has got information on that, should comment on it. The one of the boundary, because that one has been going on for a long time. And then there's also a quarrel among the districts, inter-district boundary quarrels. And then there is the outbreak of anthrax. So if somebody has got information on that, he can give us information, like the Minister of TESO, if he's here. Although this is not TESO strictly, maybe Chief Torres, can you tell us about the wildlife boundary? And then the problem of the anthrax. Somebody who knows something about it.
Your Excellency, you are aware that matter of the boundary was discussed in Cabinet, and the Ministry of Tourism was supposed to handle it. Up to now, it hasn't been handled, but the people of Sebei complain of the brutality of our personnel. They have killed several people. Some people have been maimed. So that is the concern of our people. And I think if this problem has to be settled, I think we need to clear this idea of the boundary, because the research which was done, there was a team from tourism, you remember, and they found out that the people had encroached into the forest, but also UA had encroached in outside the park. So this matter needs to be handled as quickly as possible. And then, of course, to advise UA to be more humane when they are dealing with our people.
Does that brief deal with some of these issues?
Thank you, Your Excellency. One of us can add something.
Your Excellency, this is Chimaswet Kisos, MP for Soy. Soy is just down in the plains. I'm also feeling cold a bit. But sometimes when my colleagues find me in Kampala, they say, you are from a cold area. I'm also from an area that is like Teso. Your Excellency, the issue of Uganda Wildlife Authority and the locals, we talked about it in State House in 2013. And we had agreed that some parts of land be carved. But unfortunately, Your Excellency, we had not known that in 2005, there was a consent judgment in court, which again solves our problem that the line should move from the line of 1993 to 1983. And that is simple as it is, because it is a court judgment. It isn't anything that will block these are the locals from occupying the land beyond the 1993 line, which goes now beyond 1983. And they would be covered. Thank you so much, Your Excellency.
Yeah, but the problem is not a court judgment. The problem is really survival of our people. Because you hear that there is a new crack. You heard the commander here talking about it. There is a new crack in Mount Elgon, and they don't know where it is coming from. And in those meetings, I told them about the nails. When you are trimming your nails, you must be very careful not to go to the flesh. If you think you are trimming your nails and you go beyond a certain point, you start bleeding. So this mountain, is for our survival. There is what these Bagisu here call Sesevere. What is it called? The spring. Sesevere. And one? Isevere. Yes. All these rivers you are talking about come from this mountain. And they start somewhere as Sesevere. We cannot allow, even by court judgment, because those judges don't know what they are talking about sometimes. This is a science issue. It's a science issue. It's not an issue of judges, lawyers. No. The question is, how far can you go up the mountain without interfering with the Sesevere, without interfering with the integrity of the mountain? This is the issue. It's not a law. No, it is science. There's no judge who can say you cut the nail up to the base of the finger. A judge cannot say. He should say, I don't know where to stop, and leave it to the scientists. So really, that is the issue. And now coming to the going into the park, you hear this corona. We don't talk about it because we don't want to offend people. We don't talk about corona because we don't want to offend people. But apparently it started with some people who eat monkeys. There are people who eat monkeys in the world. That's where corona started. But we don't talk about it so much. We are all suffering, putting on masks, dying. But it started interfering with the wildlife. Now, I was reading the brief yesterday here that when the cows go into the park, that anthrax you are talking about, the anthrax which somebody was talking about, can come from wild animals to domestic animals, and vice versa. So, you as leaders, you know, this is where, because me, I don't look at politics as a way of living. Me, I'm a cattle keeper. I don't need anything from anybody for a living. So when I go to leadership, I go to lead people to help them get a better life. If you really want Uganda to be better, you must tell the people the truth. The wild park is absolutely necessary for our survival. And there should be no politics on that. Nobody should try to, I shouldn't say this, no. The nails, when you cut, there is where you stop. Beyond that, you can't, it's not acceptable. So, we can, I should have checked the latest last night, but I will check when I'm in Kampala during the budget. I will talk about it. During the budget speech, I will talk about all these issues which were raised here, which I did not have time to talk about. Dr. Chitutu, did you have something to say about the boundary? Because you are an environmentalist, by the way.
Yes,
Before you became a Karamojong, you are doing something to do with them.
Yes, Your Excellency, on the issue of the boundary, on the Bugisu side, yes, we agree we had issues on the border issues, and you had guided at one time that they followed the 1993 borderline, but I think UA has not effected that, which leaves a few conflicts coming up. But Your Excellency, also, when you came and talked to us in Mbale, and you told us very clearly that we need to dress that mountain. It is like our mother, and we've left it naked. We as leaders, we have continued to spread your message among the population to understand some of these issues of environmental in nature. And I think as leaders, we have been pushing for urbanization, whereby we have our people put in safe and in safe together so that they move away from the risk area. And Your Excellency, that was even contained in our memo when you came to Mbale. So we've listened to your message, and we agree that is it is what we call in environment is called a sensitive area, whereby when you go there, you need to first have carried out an environmental impact assessment and prepared properly. That one was not done. And for Bududa, I think I've already talked to the leaders. Once cracks appear, move the population away immediately. That is in Bubita. We have a crack. Appearance of a crack, Your Excellency, shows that the soil is already pulling. You know, in the soil we have two forces. The one that makes the soil stable on the mountain, then the natural force from gravity, which pulls downwards. Now, to have a landslide, it means the force down is heavier or bigger, greater than the one that is holding. The one that is holding comes from root strength, cohesion of the soils. Now, once we cut the trees, we lose that, and that's why we have gravity, especially pushed by water, pushing the soil down. So whenever you have cracks, that means the force pushing down is stronger. And at that time, we can't do anything. We just move away the population. So I think that is where the district officials have told me that is an emergency. We need to shift these people immediately. But Your Excellency, I also wanted to brief you on Karamoja, because I'm the minister in charge of Karamoja. You directed me. First, I will apologize on behalf of my people of Karamoja for the few elements who have been causing problems with our neighbors. I must also appreciate, Your Excellency, the support that I've received from you. On 19 September 2021, we were in Morulinga, and you directed us with my colleague, Honorable Nandutu, that we intensify community mobilization and livelihood support. We thank you. We received the supplementary budget, and we are now ready with the implements you directed us, the white goats, the gala goats, and iron sheets. So we have mobilized 70,000 goats and 90,000 iron sheets. We are requesting that you flag them off. When you come to Karamoja, they are all collected in one center, in the open, in Naitangwai, open ground. You flag it off, and then we can hit the ground to distribute, Your Excellency. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, my name is Ongalo Obote. I'm the Minister of State for Teso Affairs. I would like to report that we have still made very little headway with regard to defining the boundaries of the Pian Upe Game Reserve, which has led to serious conflicts between the locals and UWA, and also has allowed the incursions of the rustlers into Teso, because the boundaries of the Pian Upe Game Reserve, which affect Kumi, Katakwi, and Nakapiripirit, have not yet been clearly defined. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. My name is Emi Mitala. I am the Resident District Commissioner for Bududa. Your Excellency, the problem of anthrax began in Bududa on the 13th of May. So far, like General said, by this morning we've lost 27 animals in Bududa, and one in Namisindwa, and also one in Manafa. As local leaders, we first of all instituted a temporary quarantine as we were liaising with the Minister of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, and they sent people on the ground, but it stopped at that. Now, we were told by the ministry that anthrax vaccine is not one of those that are procured for by government. Therefore, it must be procured privately. We made a step and talked to the people so that they could pay, but it is slow, and yet we needed to do a lot to vaccinate the animals. The threats we have is that most of these animals come from across the border because of the cross-border trade with Kenya. So we were looking for the source. We thought maybe it could be the forest or the cross-border trade. Our biggest problem as the districts is that the ministry has only done one thing, to confirm the quarantine that we had instituted as the local leaders. But they've not come in to help us in combating this problem. Now, the other problem is the discipline of the people. That the carcass that is buried, people go still through and exhume it and eat it. That's where we got a problem of the death of a person. Now, the people that are being treated, at least 11 of them have been discharged. The good thing is that the threat of person-to-person infections is slow and small and very minimal. But the threat of the animal to animal and animal to people is very high. Now, the enforcement is very difficult because the police is very thin on the ground, and also to respond to the alerts. And then surveillance has become a problem because Kampala has not come in to give us a hand. Your Excellency, Bududa still is where we have the crack in Bubita sub-county. We've talked to the people to relocate. We invited our Prime Minister's office. They came and saw what is happening. The people have nowhere to go. Because even where we would have taken them in Vunambute, they are too slow in giving us space for those people. Now people still go back, but it is pardonable. Because one, we told them to go away, they have no food, they have no help. And we just tell them, please relocate, and they don't have help. So it is becoming a problem to us. The pace of Kampala responding to the districts is very slow, Your Excellency. I thank you.
Your Excellency, my name is Asamo Helen. Excellency, I want to talk about the people who are moved away from the forest of the Sebe Highlands here. And before I became a minister, you made me a chairperson of Equal Opportunity. So I had an opportunity to move in all this region. And those people, Excellency, are suffering. Our office of OPM has never looked at these people. They're like in a camp. They have been neglected. And I want to believe, as a Minister of Gender, we look at issues of minority groups, and I think these are our people. We need to have a special program that can get those people out, because they said you moved us from the park, but you're not caring for us. And they really were looking desperate. I want to pray if government gives them special land, because they said give us where we can farm, give us some kind of equipment to help us do farming. So, Excellency, I am talking for the human being.
And I captured it under minute in which we issued a directive that those people, Honorable Samo is talking about, who are suffering in Kisangani and Rwanda, who are all in Kakwata, Queen District, be relocated in a place called London. London is a place which is part of the national park, but it enters into the where the community is. it enters into the community, meaning that it crosses the road. Part of it crosses the road, and part of it is on the upper side. And you were convinced and accepted that they be resettled there. These people of the upper side are located in about 3 main areas. Those ones of Kapsekek have been settled in Bukwa, most of them. There's still a small balance. Now the ones who are suffering most are the ones in Kisitu and Yatui. These are the same people who could easily be relocated in London, together with the people of Kisangani and Rwanda. And we shall solve that problem. Secondly, the issue of the conflict between UWA and the community is not only limited to the boundary. But I remember during all the past electoral campaigns, the people along the forest line had been begging the government to allow them to graze their animals in the park. But Your Excellency, sir, even Honorable Mai Mukula can bear me witness. Whenever we come to campaign, we always ask the authorities to temporarily allow the people to take their animals into the park. And usually because it is a campaign period, we need our candidate to pass, we need the NRM to pass, they are allowed. As soon as we pass and we go to State House and Parliament, UWA swings into action and closes out the people. That's why they keep shooting people. And it's true. They have shot so many people. I've even never made a brief to you, Your Excellency, sir, because I saw there was a lot of pain. So, the issue is, let us see how we can talk with the Ministry of Tourism. Is it possible for the cows and goats in Sebei to graze along the wild animals like those ones in Lengburo National Park? Is it possible? If it is not possible, then let the people know from the beginning that it is not possible. Instead of us talking to them during campaigns, when the exercise is over, we close them. Now they take us like we are bayai. When we need votes, we kneel to them. When we don't need, when we go to Parliament or State House, we chase them away. So, Your Excellency, those are my 2 points. Let's see how we can sort out the issue of the animals, grazing rights, collecting firewood, and whatever. All these issues to do with the killings and rape will end, and there will be harmony between our forces and the community. Finally, the issue of London. That thing was captured as a directive. I remember I was a duty officer, and I think those things are inside State House there. If we can do that, we shall settle all those people in Kisitu, Yatui, London, and Kisangani. Finally, Your Excellency, at the end of your meeting today, I'm requesting to meet you for 5 minutes, Your Excellency, sir. Thank you, sir.
Your Excellency, I'm Annette Nandudu, the district chairperson, Bulambuli district. Still on the issue of boundaries, you gave a directive for Bulambuli and Kapchora to open up boundaries. You sent the Ministry of Lands, people came, Bulambuli accepted, those of Kapchora refused. People who came from the ministry went back, promising us to come next time to handle. Up to now, everything is still in vain. Your Excellency, when our people get pangas and cut each other, my office as the district chairperson acts as a shock absorber. Sometimes I fail to perform my duties. I end up handling court issues in my office. Your Excellency, help us through this follow to bring our brothers and sisters of Kapchora. We sit on one table. We handle for the harmony of our people. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Allow me join my colleagues to welcome you to Sabaya region. and Eastern at large. This is Chemonges William, Member of Parliament, Queen Constituency. I just want to add on to what my colleagues have said. My Special Major Chemonges have given us a very good brief on the issue of Mount Elgon. Your Excellency, this is a very serious matter in this region. If I can give a brief, Mount Elgon was created into a national park in 1993, and since then, after creating it into a national park, a few people were resettled, and the resettlement was not done perfectly. It left many people unresettled. And in 2005, there was the community from Mount Elgon went to court, and the government consented into their case. And the judgment had had enough directives where it was saying we should resettle the people before we turn the place into a national park. And it had a lot of directives. And in 2011, Your Excellency, you gave a very good directive to Ministry of Lands and even to the Prime Minister's office, where you directed that all the Benets who are not resettled be resettled in London. And that's what Major Chemonges had said. And everybody was comfortable, and people have been waiting for that up to now. Your Excellency, because of the delay to resettle these people, we have lost a lot of many people because there is a very serious issue with the boundary. That is why Wildlife Authority is ever in fights with the community. And we have lost very many people, over 100, if I may say. Your Excellency, when you came for campaigns last year, 2021, I remember telling you in Duban that we had a very big problem in the Upper Bell. Everybody was running away from our party just because of the boundary issue. And you directed the chairperson, Eastern, Mr. Honorable Mukula, to come and sort out the issue. Your Excellency, that was a very good idea. The chairperson came, and we went to the Upper Bell. We went to Kwanyi and talked to people from Kakwata. Then we came to Posir. And his message was very direct, and everybody welcomed it, where he gave us a message that would resolve the issue of grazing animals, which is actually the main activity by the Benet people. And then he also brought a very good message on resettlement, that whatever the president had directed would be effected. And that meant resettling people in London. Your Excellency, we understand the issue of climate change. We know it could be true that London is not the right place to resettle people now, but especially at this time that we are trying to conserve the environment. But Your Excellency, we have never gotten, Your Excellency, we do not know what happened when you gave the directive, because up to now I've been researching to find the document, maybe to find the report from the environmentalists, but we have not seen it. In Parliament, I have raised this matter several times, more especially on the killing. Your Excellency, we have seen UPDF, even when they misbehave and kill, they are prosecuted. The police officers have always been prosecuted. But it is only and only these officers from Uganda Wildlife Authority that have been killing, and they just go and continue with their work. Your Excellency, I don't want to take a lot of time. I just want to say, Honorable Mukula is here. Maybe he would add on something. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Now, I think now we are getting disorganized. Because
Thank you.
Because if each one speaks.
But Your Excellency, boundary only.
No, the boundary we have got is the issue.
But Your Excellency.
Your Excellency, my name is Chemonge Silas from Kapchorwa Town Council. I remember the other time when you came to Tuban, I was lucky to meet you, Your Excellency. I wanted your help for school scholarship, Your Excellency.
Your Excellency.
Okay. What do you say? Are you studying a useful subject?
Your Excellency, I'm a senior six leaver and I'm from a humble family, Your Excellency. So I'm requesting you for a scholarship in.
What subjects do you want to study? What subjects?
Arts.
You joined the army.
Your Excellency, thank you very much.
Narweso.
My name is Tola Fadil, Member of Parliament for Tingay County.
Narweso, you write that man he joined the army, then I will support him from there.
Your Excellency.
Narweso is behind there. Hello.
Your Excellency.
We have got a lot of arts people already.
Yes. Your Excellency, my name is Tola Fadil, Member of Parliament for Tingay County, Kapchorwa. Your Excellency, the issue of boundary is supposed to be sorted comprehensively.
I think we are getting disorganized.
But you
No. I have got the issues. I've got the issues. I will allow only one woman so that because they don't bring me the woman, the yellow one. You speak.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. My name is Chemtai Evelyn, the woman member of Parliament, Bukwa District. There is one thing about insecurity that was not mentioned, and I want to bring it to your attention, that the lower part of Bukwa District and Kwen District, we still have an insecurity problem from Pokot from Kenya. As we speak now, they have come with their cows from the side of Pokot, from Kenya to the Ugandan side, with the pretext that they are looking for water and grass. But from our own source, we found that they go and raid from Kenyan side, maybe Turkana and other places. Then they come and hide on our side. And they come with so many cows. Now that we have farms with maize, they graze their cows into our farms. Okay. So, Your Excellency, as we talk of security, let's also consider that. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Very good. Now, Barukudembe, would you answer? This one is relevant to this one. Barukudembe, what are you saying, young man?
Thank you, Your Excellency. I'm the district chairperson, Kapelebiong. And while you were speaking, Your Excellency, you mentioned Kapelebiong district. And I felt in a very humble way to make some statements clear on behalf of the people of Kapelebiong, but also to appreciate you. Indeed, it is true, between January and May, the people of Kapelebiong experienced a lot of insecurity. And for now, due to your intervention, the security situation has improved. However, to consolidate it further, we want to thank you, but we also need kindly to humbly request you, Your Excellency, that Kapelebiong district has a lot of challenges. One of them is security roads, because right now deployments of the forces across the districts is very, very difficult, because first of all, we're a new district without road unit equipment, and we don't have enough resources to make sure that the road equipment, the roads are okay. So that's one. Number two, Kapelebiong is a gateway to Teso in terms of access from Karamoja. All the trading routes that come for the cattle that comes from Karamoja, coming towards Teso, coming towards Bugisu, they pass through Kapelebiong. And we have had scenarios where the cattle come, maybe they are stolen, and as a district, we have been trying to ask police to step up patrols so that they're able to curtail animals that are stolen from the other parts of Karamoja. Finally, Your Excellency, the people of Kapelebiong also have a boundary issue with Karamoja. The border which was opened from Katakwi stopped along before completion towards Tuke. And now we have a community that is resettled between Abim and Kapelebiong that don't know where to belong. We also humbly request the issue of border between Kapelebiong and Napak. Thank you.
Okay, that's a very... Now, No more of the, except the Barukudembe answer the Pokot who are in Kwen lowland.
Your Excellency, this Pokot incursion in Buko is of recent, and I promise within the next week I will go there personally and handle the situation.
Very good, very good, very good. So now we need to conclude so that we listen to statements from the zones, because you remember you have got zonal statements, the Teso, Sebei, and Bugisu 111. But the issues, I'm sorry these issues have taken long, because like the issue of the UWA, the Prime Minister, Dr. Gunda, came, I sent him, he came and spent a lot of time here, and I thought they had resolved it. But we shall resolve it. Now, my appeal to you would be to resolve this issue of the wildlife human population border basing on science, not just on the court, the what, because if you don't deal with the science will deal with you. Because that's what is happening now in Bududa. Nobody is chasing those people, but the mountain itself is saying, if you don't go, you will die. So really, as leaders, there should be no compromise on this. We should guide our people firmly. And then I undertake to use the resources of the government to resettle these people somewhere else. Because we are taking even some to Masindi, but some refuse to go there. We put them here in Bulamburi. Dr. Kitutu has got a good idea that, and even other leaders have talked about it. They have said, help us build small townships in the safe areas of Bugisu. Because those trading centers will actually benefit from the mountain, but now in a different way, for tourism, because this mountain can become a very big attraction for tourism, and that can give more livelihood to the people than even these little crops they are growing in their small plots. So when I go back to Kampala, I will make sure that we move on the issue of removing all these people from the disputed areas, all the danger areas, and they are settled somewhere, either in trading centers or in some land in other parts of Uganda. Now, the anthrax, I will also take it up. It could be that the government doesn't vaccinate may not have the money because of so many commitments. Because even if you vaccinate the cows here, how about the cows which come from Kenya, which are diseased? How would you, the one who was speaking about it, what do we do about that? Because these are eating, even if the cows here were vaccinated, how about the ones from Kenya?
Thank you, Excellency. We explored that one as well, and we agreed that because they've been coming in unchecked, so we agreed that before they leave Luakaka, which is the main entry point for them, they must be checked before they are accessed in the markets in Bududa. and other districts that are surrounding you.
Oh, so they buy them from...
They buy them from Kenya, and most times they buy the young ones, and then they fatten them from here, and then Kenyans also come and buy the same animals from Bududa.
They do what?
They buy calves, young ones, from across the border. And then they fatten them.
Oh.
And then the Kenyans come and buy the fattened animals and take them back to Kenya, Your Excellency.
So I'll go and discuss with the Minister of Veterinary. But
thank you, Your Excellency.
But the easiest thing to do is to, because eating anthrax cow is very risky.
Yeah, it is, Your Excellency. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Now, grazing animals in the park is really wrong, both in Lake Mburo and here. Because, first of all, you take diseases to the animals, to the wild animals. Then you pick diseases from the wild animals, bring them back. It's not a good idea. So if you are doing it for politics, I never sent you to tell lies to the people. I deny you completely. My politics is to tell the people the truth. And in this case, how about zero grazing? Because when I visited Buko and some other places, people already, they're already sensitized about zero grazing, where you keep the cows in the shed and you feed them there. Who can respond to this? Why not do zero grazing? Why don't we teach our people zero grazing? I have a farm at Kaumu. I am teaching them how to do zero grazing. Why not do the same here? What is the problem?
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. My name is Christine Muga, coordinator of Eastern Women Mobilizers at Grassroots. I take this opportunity to thank you so much. You took us to your farm in Kaumu. Remember when we met at Rwakitura, 11 November 2020. Your Excellency, we've started the move to sensitize the communities on zero grazing, and they are taking it up. Your Excellency, we are operating in the 4 sub-regions, that is Bukedi, Bugisu, Teso, and Sebei sub-region. Your promises, the pledges you made to us, if you responded to them, Your Excellency, it will improve the regions.
Okay, now, Narweso, talk to this young girl. She's talking some sense. You go.
Your Excellency, before I go, our communities were defrauded. You remember the story we told you, and you promised to pay 14 billion cash to the affected. Besides that, you also promised operational wealth creation to our community. Thank you.
I have forgotten a bit. You talk to, go and talk to Norwich about the zero grazing. Come through here. Because with zero grazing, you avoid all these problems. You grow pasture on the boundary of your land or in some portion. We should do. I don't know who is in charge of wealth creation in this area. We really must work to develop that culture. Mrs. The brown lady who was in Bugisu, the one who was working with the Magomu, there's a brown one. Mrs. who? Magombe. What happened to her efforts? What happened to Mama Magombe's efforts?
Your Excellency, Mrs. Magombe is available But she needs a hand, Your Excellency, to facilitate what she's doing.
Yes, I would want to meet her so that because she had already started long ago, where you have the cows in the shed, you cut the grass, you feed them. You don't get involved in, and they also don't get a disease because they are not moving.
Your Excellency, I will bring her to you.
Thank you. Now, on the issue of inter-district boundaries, where the Bulambuli chairperson, the girl, she's about to develop blood pressure. Where is that girl? The one who was so angry. Come and I help you. You come and stand there and I help you too. So that you don't get blood pressure. Come on the microphone. Now,
Your Excellency, to get to me easily.
This Sabine are disturbing you for nothing. You are talking of we should sit on a table, round table, the Wagisu with the Wasebe. This is not your job. This is the job of the map.
Yes.
You are not going to change that map. Even if you sit for 20 days in your round table with the Sabine, the maps are there in Entebbe, which were because you remember, before you were born, Nandutu, there was a district called Bugisu. Now this Bugisu had within it counties. I think one county was called Bungoko, another one was called Manjia. I think there was this other one, what were they calling it? The one Bududa was what? Was Budadiri? Bududi was Budadiri. And then there was Sebei County. Now each of those counties, their maps are there in the Ministry of Lands. Therefore, you the leaders, you are really disturbing yourselves. Just bring the surveyors to show you where the maps were and finish. Do you know that, Nandutu?
I've heard Your Excellence,
No,
but the issue is...
Did you know it?
I know it.
So what is the quarrel about?
The issue is, as you gave a directive, the people of the ministry came, did their survey, we came together as Bulambuli, we accepted to open the boundary. Our friends of Kapchora refused. Why I brought in the issue of sitting on a round table is to...
What you do, forget about the round table.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I didn't come with the whole... I'm going to tell the Prime Minister to come and be there, and they open the boundary according to the map.
Yes, Your Excellency.
Anybody who doesn't want to come, that is his business.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
They will follow the map the way it is in the ministry. Because you see, at independence, the African leaders wisely agreed that the colonial borders be accepted the way they were. Whether they were right or wrong, just accept it. Because otherwise, we would be in war with Tanzania, because a part of Ankole was put in Tanzania. A part of Ankole was put in Rwanda. When you hear a province of Rwanda called Umutari is Ankole, it was put in Rwanda. A part of Rwanda was put in Uganda. It is called Kisoro. A big part of Uganda, Bunyoro, was put in Congo. When you hear these areas like Bunya, like these are, I can go and address a rally in Bunya and Yankore, they will follow me. So we said, accept the borders the way they are. If you want to change them, do so politically by negotiation, like Tanganyika and Zanzibar agreed and formed Tanzania. We can agree and form East African Federation. but not quarreling.
It's okay.
So, leaders, please. Nandutu, don't waste your time with a round table. There's no need for round table. The Prime Minister will come with the surveyors. They stand there and they show you by map.
Thank
Finish.
you, Your Excellency. You are mentioning my name as Nandutu. I'm Nandutu Anet. If you want to get me easily in Bugisland, call me Moyendagano. The heart is the agreement.
Oh,
thank you.
Moyendagano. Okay,
Yes.
very good.
Now, Your Excellency, I'm going to take a visit. Chairman for all the persons in the Kapchorwa district. What that lady has said, the map which was brought in Kapchorwa was the wrong map. You see, for us, since we got a district, our taxpayers, the whole of Muyembe, up to Buyaga, they were still paying tax in Sebei. Our county, it was in the north, Bugisu. Now when we're given, even the taxpayers, we have even names and we have tickets of taxpayers. Where this Muyembe, it has identified, it is Kapchorwa, it is Sebei land, and it is Sebei country. So in the border, the map which was brought, it was it was not a good map. That's why we never wanted.
Okay, the Prime Minister will make sure she comes with the real map.
Thank you. Thank you. Of 58, we need a map of 1958. We shall get the right stabbing map. Thank you very much.
Okay, the old man may have a point. Sit down, Mzee. Sit down. The old man may have a point because the maps we are talking about are the maps at independence. The way the map was on the 9th of October 1962. There are parts of Ankole which are in Buganda. You get areas like Sembabure, you get areas like Lyantonde. They are Banyankore areas, but they were put in Buganda. That's how you find even the members of parliament who represent those areas, like Sam Muktesa was representing Sembabure, and these other people, the ones who are representing the Antonio, they are Banyankore. But we don't quarrel about those. If a part of Bugisu was in Sebei County, there will be Bugisu there, but they will stay there. Nobody will remove them. But the map will be the way it was at independence. Now, what the old man is saying, it could be that after independence, because of politics, because Sebei, Kingo, Chemongis, was he called Kingo? What was his Kingo? I think he was like a DP or something. He was not UPC. He was a DP. So if there were Colis who were UPCs, if they changed the map after independence, then we shall have to go back to the map of 1962. I hope that is not the case. Mzee, the one who was speaking, is that the case or what? The Mzee, what?
Your Excellency, what I meant is that the time when we were in North Bugisu, our county was stopping in Buluganya, Bulago, and all that. But later on, when we were divided to come in Kapchorwa to get a district, we said even if we could roll from Yemba River where our land was going up Bunambuti is ours.
But Mzee.
Yolasat is ours.
No, Mzee.
So,
Mzee. Mzee, who divide? Because Mzee. Oh, please. You know what you call history? What you call history, I call current affairs.
That's right.
Because I was there. How old are you?
I'm 83.
Oh, you are competing with me.
Yes. And even we have even taxpayers when you go to part this Buyembe River up to Teso.
No, Mzee, I think now you are confusing issues.
I'm not confusing.
Just hold on. Because, please, you people, stop making noise there. Other people, because there was no North Bugishu. Those North Bugishus are later, maybe during the time of Amin and all that. But in the time of independence, it was Amasaza counties.
Of course.
And the counties were Manjia, I know very well, because my friend Natoro was coming from there. Then I think there was Wungoko.
Yes.
Then there was Budadiri.
And then Sebei.
And then Sebei.
Yes.
So don't mix up with the North of Bugisu. What? No.
No, that one came through campaign when where Chemonge stood. But it was 4 counties. By then we counted North Bugisu. And even the time we left the...
You mean Chemonge is... They cut a part of Bugisu, put it in Sebei?
Yes, Chemonge got votes from Buginyanya, Bulago, Muyembe. It was a constituency which was combined in Sebei.
Yes. Don't mix up issues, Mzee.
Chemonge he stood as a candidate for Buginyani, Bulago.
Okay, now I know where the confusion is, Mzee.
Yes.
Okay, now, okay. What's your name?
I'm Barteka Vincent.
Bariteka
Vincent.
Bariteka, Sakaja.
Yeah. Vincent.
Sakaja, is your son or what?
No, it is them, just, my name is Barteka Vincent.
Okay, Barteka, because there's another one who was with the
yeah, that one was an ambassador.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, I know, okay, you sit down, I have known your confusion.
No, you know my confusion, but I'm right.
You sit down and I help you. Oh, I have now discovered why sometimes you waste a lot of time. You see, our UPC, first of all of you who are here, including the Mzee, agree so that you don't even waste the time of the team who come, because those will be young people who don't know. Agree that Bugisu was a district. And it had counties. You people, if there is somebody writing minutes, please. It had counties. And the counties which I remember very well in my head were Manjia, where my friend Natoro was coming from, Bungoko, Budadiri, and Sebei. I don't know whether there was a 4th one which I would have forgotten. Yes?
Your Excellency, there was also Bubulo County. Bubulo County, which became Manafa District.
Bubulo.
Manja was carved from Bubulo.
Yes, yeah. There was Bubulo County also.
I don't think it. We can check. I never had it so much. I knew Bubulo became a secondary school later. There was a Kasumoro new school there.
Yeah, His Excellency, I'm Kigai Hosea Kimono, Chairman Manafa. Okay, that time, there were majorly 4 counties.
Yes.
That was Bungoho, Budadiri, Manjia and Bubulo. But I remember very well, Manjia was carved from Bubulo.
I think so. You at independence, I don't remember. So please, you get this, all of you, so that you don't get blood pressure for nothing. Now, what the old man is talking about is that UPC, because of their politics of tricks, when they were making constituencies, they would know, because at that time politics was either religion or tribes. So in making constituencies, they would see, this is like, for instance, Ankole Northeast. Ankole Northeast, the one where I come from. They would get the counties of Kashari, of Nyabushozi, huge counties, of Ibanda, and put them together as a constituency. Ankole Northeast. And in the 1980 elections, because they were fighting me, they would cut away the sub-counties of Nyabushozi, Nyakashashara, cut it away, Kashonji, cut it away, bring the sub-counties of Ibanda, put them in Ankole Northeast. So that's what he's talking about. He's saying that in the elections, that's what the old man is talking about, that in the elections, UPC created an artificial constituency trying to, because they were not sure of the Sabini support, because the Sabini were hostile. They were DP with the Chimonges. So they would try to bring Bagisu to dilute the to dilute the voting power of the Sabine, so that they don't win anywhere. But that is different. That one cannot, it is not an administrative, it is not the administrative boundaries we are talking about. And why, that is why, when the NRM came, we said no more ad hoc constituencies. We said now the constituency must coincide with the administrative boundaries. This is why the NRM took this position. And for the CA, I remember the constituencies in the whole of Uganda were 149. And there was even a debate that some constituencies have got smaller number, what. We said, no, it doesn't matter. As long as it is a county, let it be a constituency. So, that one, Mzee, should not confuse you. That Bugisu North is not what we are talking about. We are talking about, that was a parliamentary constituency created by UPC as a maneuver to cause the defeat of whoever they wanted to defeat, but not a parliamentary, not an administrative unit. The administrative unit that will guide us is the Sebei County. Mzee, have you understood it? Huh? Is he the one speaking? Somebody translate for him in
If we shall follow administrative boundaries, we shall win.
Very good.
Thank you very much.
But let somebody explain it in Sabine so that everybody understands it. Somebody who can speak Sabine well. Explain it in Sabine well.
Your Excellency, my name is Kurwa Charles.
I know you explain.
Okay, Afindi. Kamwai bondet le kiotet nyoga mig de bondet ni Bartega. Ku kiotet nyegi bokweishet nyogi je kwe mariondet chemongesi waisi ago wambosa. Denebrio kiotet nyoba sasyandit amye kiotet nyoba sasyandit le brio kiotet nyobo kweishet. That is constituency. Yeah? I've done it, sir.
Honorable members of the meeting, colleagues, let's have one meeting. I request that we remain orderly as we started. Those who are under the sun, sunbathing, please continue listening in as the meeting is ongoing. Those who are having lunch, please have lunch peacefully and silently. And we are going to request His Excellency the President, when he returns, that he gives us a chance now to make presentations region by region. And we will begin with Sebei region, then we go to Bugisu sub-region, and then we have the one of Teso sub-region. But I would like to request that we stay focused in one meeting. Let's remain organized as we started. Thank you.
Members, I want to echo the words of the Vice President. Please, let's get disciplined. I'm seeing some people facing that way. His Excellency is talking this way. You are facing that way. That group there, that group.
Don't worry.
Do you need data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Mold Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602 963. Visit our office in Kampala at Sayuni Complex in Tinda. Mood Technologies, your professional research firm.
The guiding thing is Sebei County is the one which became Kapchorwa, and from Kapchorwa we started getting these other Kwen, and also Buko. And when we were making them, we were always following the sub-counties. We would not chop a sub-county, no. Take a whole sub-county that way. So let's go now to the zonal areas. Each zone, I give each zone 20 minutes so that we finish to present their issues.
District Chairperson Sebei.
Colleagues, the district chairpersons and mayors, the resident district commissioners, CAOs and town clerks, the NRM chairpersons, the DSOs, religious leaders, opinion leaders, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Shebet Evelyn Kubarika, district chairperson Kapchorwa, and I've come to step in to present the issues of Sebei sub-region. Your Excellency, sir, you are very aware that if you take a very long period of time without coming home, things become very difficult. That is why you have seen today a lot of arguments, and we have been asking ourselves what went wrong. However, the issues that we have as Sebei, as for today's meeting, is on the issues of working on the security roads.
Chebet, hello. Chebet is saying that when a child doesn't come back home for a long time,
a father.
A father?
Yes.
Or anybody who doesn't come home?
Yes.
Becomes like a vagabond or something like that.
Things become difficult. So as Sebei, Your Excellency, we are facing a number of issues as far as the security is concerned, and the people of Sebei were requesting that the roads that are security roads, the one of Bukwo to Chepsukunya Atar, connecting Eskona in Kwen district. Then we have Munda in Kapchorwa, Chemaka Kwai Road that connects up to this side of Teriet Kwoti, be worked upon such that security issues can be managed. Your Excellency, I want also to take this opportunity to appreciate you for your vigilance, for the war that you opened upon the pandemic of COVID-19. It is the reason that we are living, and we are now here today sharing with you, and we want to ask God to give you more good years of good health, such that we shall be able to continue. However, I'm bringing forward this issue of COVID-19 because it is one of the issues that affected us as a community. We would have been compensated like others and also resettled. So we are requesting that the compensation be put in the budget of 2022-2023 such that our people can also be resettled with maybe schools where they are going to be resettled. Your Excellency, sir, I know a number of issues have been shared that I would have shared here, but on behalf of the people of Sebei sub-region, I wanted to make up the following follow-ups on your pledges. From 2017, you promised to open up a model demonstration farm in Kapchorwa, but to date, it has not been done, and we are requesting that it should be expedited because it has been being pushed always from one financial year to another, but the implementation has not been done. Your Excellency, when you came to Kapchorwa, we were maize growers. You advised us that the farmers should go in for short-term crops like Irish potatoes, and you also pledged that you are going to set up a multiplication site for Irish potatoes, because currently as we speak, our farmers, most of them, are carrying out Irish potato farming for faster yields that do not take up the whole year. And of course, we are now having a lot of challenges. The seed that we are planting here in Kapchorwa is gotten outside Kapchorwa, Kabale, which is very far. But if that multiplication site was brought in Kapchorwa, then it would have reduced the expenses of farmers. Your Excellency, sir, another pledge that I wanted to follow up on is the provision of improved variety of bulls to change the quality of our animals. You know the Sabines are also very good herdsmen, and you cannot change their minds from being herdsmen. So my people asked me to follow up on the same issue. Your Excellency, as a community of Sebei, we are very happy with you, and we shall always be for you. But our people are saying they should be considered as far as the national cake is concerned. Sebei is one of the regions that is giving us the biggest number of athletes and has sold Uganda worldwide. We are requesting that in your docket, add us another minister, maybe a minister of state for sports, to boost up that sector of sports. Your Excellency, on the issue of RDCs, we only had 2 were dropped. We remained with 3 deputies. We are requesting Your Excellency for recognition that if we can be added more or promote the ones that are there, because we also feel we have been left out a bit as a community of Sebei. And yet we also fight for NRM 100%. For your information, Your Excellency, in Sebei, if you came on any other ticket, it would not be very easy for you to make it in any political position. If you are not coming through the NRM ticket, you rather come on an independent ticket. Our people will give you a vote. So, Your Excellency, I beg to end there and welcome you to Kapchorwa. Thank you, Your Excellency.
May I please invite Bugisu sub-region, Bugisu sub-region.
Your Excellency, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the President of Uganda, and the Chairman of our great party, the NRM, Your Excellency, the Vice President, Honorable Jessica Alupo, the Vice Chairman, NRM, Eastern Region, honorable ministers, religious leaders present, honorable members of parliament, chairman LC5 and the movement party, all leaders present, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, my name is Richard Wanda, Member of Parliament for Bungoho Central, and also the chairperson, Bugisu Parliamentary Group. Allow me to take this opportunity to thank you on behalf of the people of Bugisu for the many good things you've done for our region. On top of that list, Your Excellency, is the road from Bumbobi to Ruahaha. The road has tremendously changed the trend of business, and a lot of activity is sprouting because of that road. Your Excellency, we want to thank you also for the peace that you ushered in and have maintained in our country. Businesses are growing and a lot of activities going on. By the mandate of the parliamentary group and all the leaders of Bugisu, allow me present our issues, just to update you on the issues in our region. As stated by our senior minister, Your Excellency, urbanization is one of the things that we are requesting for our region. You remember that some of our people were taken to Kiriandongo after the heavy landslides, and others have chosen to run back quietly just because of the conditions of life in Kiriandongo. And for that reason, as leaders, when we sat, we agreed that the best solution would be urbanization within Bugisu itself, such that the people from the highlands can resettle in the lowlands, and we leave the uplands for agriculture, like for coffee, which are actually trees and hold the soil together, and other afforestation. Your Excellency, thank you so much. Your Excellency, as a region, we request for tractors.
How do you say? Wagisu barhuroma iyakamagezi.
And thank you so much.
Is my Rugisu correct?
Yes.
Very good.
Thank you.
I am now saying in Rugisu that Bagisu are now talking sense.
Your Excellency, the people of Bugisu are very industrious people, and we deal largely in agriculture. And for that reason, the people of Bugisu are requesting for heavy-duty tractors to be used in the lowlands of Bugisu, and for walk tractors to be used for cultivation at the upper part of Bugisu. The walk tractors, these used by hands for the upper part, but not in the mountains where the landslides are being, traumatizing us. Your Excellency, with the construction of Ruahaha Road, as stated, a lot of activities now on that road. But as Bugisu, we are requesting that Ruahaha be upgraded to international port level. We believe this will enhance economic activity in the whole region. And Your Excellency, just like other border stations, would request that that be made a one-stop border station. As stated in your speech, Your Excellency, Bugisu and Sebei are very good areas for tourism. But what is hampering tourism is also the mode of transport. As a region, we are requesting for tourism roads all the way from Nabisindwa through Wanale up to Bulambuli. We believe that this will enhance the economic activities because tourism will come with other hospitality businesses. Your Excellency, last year but one, during the campaign time, we requested for 300 kilometers of roads, paved roads or tarmac roads for the districts of Bugisu and 49 kilometers for the city. So what the leaders are saying, we are just saying, reminding your office that we badly need these roads, Your Excellency. The work in the city has begun, but it is very slow. As you can see, the road to your home in Mbale is still being worked on. And the road to the mountain, Wanale, is on a very slow pace. We request that that work be expedited. Your Excellency, Bugisu has a lot of water, but it is a paradox to find that some of our people use very dirty water and do not have water for production. We are grateful that many places have gravity flow schemes, but we are requesting that some of the areas that have not received yet be granted. We shall provide the details in our written statement. Your Excellency, sir, when the leaders of Bugisu sat, we agreed that because of the needs which are maybe so much related with the Sebei, Bugisu region needs a public university to tailor the courses to address the needs of Bugisu and the Sebei. And at one point, Your Excellency, you indicated that these regions, these sub-regions, will all have public universities. So as leaders, we request for a public university for the region of Bugisu. Your Excellency, Bugisu has 6 districts and one city. But of all these, only one district has a district hospital, and that is Bududa. So as leaders, Your Excellency, we request for district hospitals for the rest of the districts. The referral hospital that we have in the city usually handles regional issues, and the response may be very slow. Your Excellency, sir, we are very grateful for the compensation of cattle that you have done for many of these regions. However, Bugisu region and Sebei were left out on the list of the districts to be compensated. So it's our request, Your Excellency, that Bugisu and Sebei be considered for compensation. Your Excellency, allow me thank you again for this opportunity. Thank you so much for giving us the audience. Thank you.
Teso Sub-Region. The presenter from Teso Sub-Region.
Supplement, just one clarification. Your Excellency, my name is Milton Kamoto Asungui, LC5 Chairperson, Bududa District. In a supplement to what my minister said, among the roads on Your Excellency is Bududa Satura Road, which you had always pledged but has not been fulfilled. We would be very grateful if this is honored. Thank you.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Uganda, the SEC members present, the Honorable Ministers present, colleague members of Parliament, the Resident District Commissioners present, Chairpersons LOC5, the security chiefs present, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, my name is Bosco Kiror. I'm the Member of Parliament representing the people of Usuk County in the Kataki District, and I'm the Chairperson of Teso Parliamentary Group. Your Excellency, permit me, in a very special way, express on behalf of members of Parliament from Teso Sub-Region, the invited leaders from the local governments, thank you for this initiative to invite us for this meeting. When we're coming, Your Excellency, it's so special in such a way that some of my colleagues and people from Teso are coming to Kapchora for the first time. So today we are tourists here. We have always focused on foreign tourism, but we have failed to be tourists in our own country. So we want to appreciate you for this gesture of bringing us here to Kapchora. It's not surprising that a majority of the people outside the tent looking for the heat are from Teso. Your Excellency, we have previously had very many engagements with Her Excellency the Vice President on some of these security issues. And permit me, in a very special way, thank you for the interventions that have been done to restore peace to Teso Sub-Region. It must have hit the media previously, as you know, Your Excellency, that the issue was so hot in such a way that we had it tabled even on the floor of Parliament. But thank you for being the leader that we have always believed in, that you have always made the interventions that people have appreciated. Allow me, Your Excellency, make a presentation of a few issues that we have put our heads together as leaders from Teso. On a component of security, it's our humble appeal as people of Teso Sub-Region that let sustainable peace be achieved and maintained in the sub-region. We know the interventions that have been done by government, but we shall be so grateful if a full-scale disarmament on some of these illegal guns is put to a stop. We request, Your Excellency, that a full deployment be done. But what our request here today, Your Excellency, is that Teso as a sub-region, we don't have a brigade. So sometimes the interventions that are done, we have got to call towards Moroto, which hosts some of these military, the UPDF. So Teso as a sub-region has no military brigade to counter some of these cattle rustlers. So it leaves us as a very open, vulnerable group who don't go out to raid, but we are always raided. Your Excellency, we want to reiterate our appeal. We have voiced this concern previously. We want to reiterate our appeal for expeditious construction and repairs of most of the security roads with water points which can help the forces when they're executing their mandate. Your Excellency, we recently passed a supplementary budget in Parliament. And in that budget, the money which was allocated was for security roads within Karamoja. Teso was not captured. The security roads of all these border districts were not factored in the supplementary. We want to appeal that the security roads be worked on. It can also help us to curb some of these issues of cattle rustling. It's our humble appeal, and we urge government that government identifies and develops sustainable solutions to the underlying factors that cause the perpetual possession of illegal guns, the cattle raids insecurity, and ensuring that poverty in northern and eastern Uganda is well handled. Your Excellency, border issues have been raised, but we also have border issues in Teso sub-region. When you look at the issue of Tororo, there are those issues. When you go to the border between Teso and Karamoja, there are areas, for example, I come from Musu County, there's a village where I can't go there to campaign. You can't go there to look for votes. In the sub-county of Ongongoja, you can't go to a village called Okameta as a member of parliament from this side. Yet there are voters that side. So some areas have become so difficult to manage in such a way that the border issues between Teso and Karamoja, issues of Napak, Kapelebyong, those districts, it's a very, very volatile issue. So sometimes this makes people have issues. Your Excellency, other than the security issue, these areas have predominantly been victims of cattle rustling. So it simply brings to mind one fact that you cannot have stabilization of government programs proceeding normally. If the cattle rustlers come, you find that it breaks certain institutions. Issues of learning, education has to come to a standstill. The health institutions in these areas have a lot of challenges. We appeal to you that you address the socioeconomic inequalities that have been created by the prolonged and recent cattle rustling in the sub-region. We appeal that government undertakes some special measures in form of an affirmative action. In programs, for example, of education, we look at issues of dams. One of the issues our brothers from Karamoja have always told us, they come downstream to look for water and pasture for their animals. Your Excellency, we appeal that let government carry out a robust issue on irrigation and set up dams in some of these areas. Because if Karamoja has water, sincerely there will be no reason as to why they move to Teso, because we are very accommodative. They come in a peaceful way, but always when it is time to return, it becomes a problem. This is one of the biggest challenges. The dams are not only for Karamoja, even this issue of water for Teso, the issue of dams, we appeal to government. We appeal that let there be creation and restoration of some of the destroyed and dysfunctional health facilities and infrastructure in the sub-region. Your Excellency, it is really sometimes disheartening that you find some of these border districts, the highest health unit that you can have in the whole county is a health center 3. But most of them have health center 2s. So this inequality, if not addressed, pushes these people to some of these issues. Your Excellency, we appeal as Teso sub-region that you help us have the establishment of the cassava processing plant. Teso produces a lot of cassava. But we appeal that we have a setup of this processing plant with a complete value chain, so that we have it as one of the cash crops. It is our staple food, but we can have it as one of the cash crops for Teso. If this is done, Your Excellency, we shall appreciate as Teso Sub-Region. This will be an income earner, and it can provide jobs for the youth. Your Excellency, we want to appreciate and thank you for the intervention you did to address the long pending issue of cattle compensation. We want to thank you for this. Cattle compensation, Your Excellency, you launched it in Soroti. The exercise has commenced. However, there are some gaps which we think can be addressed. One of the biggest issues we have, Your Excellency, now is a bit of a communication gap between the Ministry of Justice with the people down. We have a feedback from the population that some of them are compensated money as little as 70,000, even 300,000. So the figures vary. So we believe this is something which can be handled, since it was in the good spirit that you restored the issue, brought in the issue of cattle compensation, which will help the rebirth of the economy. Since, Your Excellency, you considered the issue of cattle compensation, that would only mean that we shall have more cows now coming in Teso. We also want to appeal that we have a complete value chain, looking at a cow, looking at all these animals, that we have some of these factories that can process some of the products from animals. We used to have the Lufra. Perhaps one of the reasons why, in our considered view, you find that most of the cows have got to be taken and transported out of Teso on lorries for processing in a distant place. But if we had the processing places within Teso, even if it is in some of those areas, that if a cow only leaves Soroti, leaves Teso when it is a beef, there would be no reason for people. You'd find that the end place where that cow reaches is this factory. It would even be easier for you to identify where it is ending. Your Excellency, it's our humble appeal that there are some infrastructure developments which, as a region, government is doing something, but we still want to appeal that there are some vital roads which should be handled. Some of the roads which had been promised, roads from Kumi, Serere, you go to Kagwara, Pingire, some of those vital roads, Your Excellency, we still want to appeal to you that those roads be handled. There are roads which connect us up to Kotido through Amuria, Abim. These are vital areas where we see that our intervention should be done. Your Excellency, we want to appeal that other than the cassava processing plant, recently we have tried to encourage some of our people to plant cashew nuts. The cashew nuts. So we want to appeal that we are able to make a complete value chain processing plants for those foods. Your Excellency, we have Soroti University. We want to humbly appeal to you that you have, we know you are somebody who has always had a good heart. Your Excellency, we want to appeal to you that the people of Teso are requesting for some scholarships so that they can utilize that university. You had considered some scholarships under the Ministry of Teso Affairs, which were suspended at the time, but we want to appeal for restoration of those scholarships. Your Excellency, it's our considered view that there are certain issues which can be addressed through the Ministry of TESO Affairs. However, sometimes the budgetary allocation that we have in the ministry is so low to address some of these issues. So we want to appeal that you consider and kindly help us with a good budgetary allocation for the Ministry of TESO Affairs. If people doubted, we, the current people of TESO sub-region, surely believe and trust that that intervention will go a long way to solve some of the issues for TESO. Your Excellency, there are many issues that would have loved to raise. It's our humble appeal that in your free time, at your discretion, you kindly grant us a meeting with you as TESO sub-region to handle the specific issues at your convenience, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, there are certain developments that we had previously made a request for. For example, the University Teaching Hospital at Arapaio. We appeal for your intervention that the same is expedited, that we have the same constructed. There are issues such as the Neurotic University of Flying School and the extension of the runway. These are things which we know that government can be able to undertake. We appeal to you that you are able to undertake the same. Your Excellency, we are sincerely grateful for the opportunity that you have granted us to have this time that you have granted to interface with us. May God bless you. I say all this for God and my country. Thank you.
Your Excellency, just a supplement. Nelson Elungatlakol, that's my name, the district chairperson Kumi. Your Excellency, as I was getting here, the community learned of my coming to you. In the first place, they say, please convey your greetings to your uncle, our greetings to your uncle, which in a special way, I want to do it. In Kumi, there is an island called Tisai. From the time the world was created by the Almighty, there has not been any form of a health facility or anything. In a way, they had to say that, please tell your uncle to look at our plight in respect of that. Not only that, Your Excellency, we are addressing a security matter where we have the Karamojong come over, to steal TESO. Like when you were in Soroti, you learned of 2 people. Later, they added 1 that Kumi lost 3 people. But eventually, there is also a factor that we need not to negate. That is internal, theft of animals, which is so sophisticated that, at lorries, canters are used. Because of the thinness of the police, I would pray that the special arrangement be put so that we are able to use this one to coordinate. Animals go towards southern Sudan, they come like that. So it's a serious matter. In any case, I was requested to put it to your attention. I thank you, Your Excellency.
Your Excellency, I have been moving all over TESO since you appointed me, and the TESO people have always asked me on their behalf to thank you, first of all, for the BKK ferry, whose construction was launched 2 months ago. But they have also been asking me, Your Excellency, to thank you for appointing the Vice President from TESO. And I hope that they are watching me thank you today so that they stop telling me to thank you. But also as importantly, Your Excellency, they have always told me to thank you for appointing me. And I thank you very much for that. Thank you.
Excellency, my name is Okello John Michael, the chairman NRM Ngora District. Your Excellency, it's true that Ngora issues has already deliberated, the TESO issues, but His Excellency, issues of compensation is paramount. I pray that His Excellency put your intervention down. In our district, not even 5 people that have got a compensation in Ngora district. Much as my people here are not telling you the truth about a compensation, things are hot in the ground, His Excellency. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. I thank the presenters, starting with Buko, with Sebe. The spokesperson highlighted the Buko Kepskunya security road. I know that road very well. And even yesterday we were discussing them here. Not only that one, but even the other security roads. We were discussing them here with the army people. The only problem is that now the rains have started, and sometimes during the rain, construction is more difficult. But we are planning on many of these roads. We know them, like that one there, and then the one running along Napak, Katakwi, Taperabiong axis. That road is very important. North-south, that one there, so that the vehicles are able to move and cut off any cattle rustler, and then the one inside Karamoja. So we know those. We shall walk. I know those roads myself. The complaint by Bugisu and Sebe about being forgotten about the compensation. Cattle compensation that's what they mean. I will take it up with the government so that because I know that they were also raided. I know that for sure. The ones of Bumbo cannot claim they were raided. I will not see anybody from Bumbo, from Buburo, say, I was raided. No. You never had cows if you did. But the ones of Bramburi here definitely were raided. I remember many years ago, there was this girl. She was like, I think she's a sister of Wabudea. She's a sister of Wabudea, but she was like a chairperson or something. Was one of the district leaders. The sister of Wabudea. Is she still alive? Many years ago, she came crying about those raids. She was reading the delegation about. So I will definitely take it up and put it in the government system. You know, the government system is like a train. If you don't jump on it, it will leave you. So if you don't put it in, they will forget about it. I'm going to put it in to say, yes, we've been talking about the 3 areas, Lango, Acholi, Teso. Now we add, not Bumbo, not, no, we know which parts. Even Buko, Sebei, not all the areas were raided. It was mainly Ngenge and those lowlands. We can localize and see where the problem was. I'm about to be kicked out of my residence by my daughter, the chairperson of Kapchorwa. She's saying, "You man, where have you been all this time?" And she's now for the demonstration farm, you get me land. Where is the land? I'm not going to put cows here in the State House ground. I don't want cow dung here. You give me land because I want to come and show you how to grow, how to have this high value activities, the coffee, the fruits. I have introduced apples. I've introduced apples in Rwenzori and in Kabale. They are doing very well. You find somebody gets a lot of money from 1 acre. Apples, grapes. I can add your Irish potatoes. So you give me land. Where is the land? You tell the bishop wants to give me the land.
Yes, Your Excellency, in 2018, we raised this issue to you, and you asked me to look for land. We got the land at Sipi. You wrote a letter, and the land you already thanked, Your Excellency.
Oh, okay. Yes. So my office, you are asleep. My office, Omona. The Sabine gave me land. I am the one who is lazy, who has not come.
Your Excellency, I would like to report also that here in our region, we have also tried out apples, which were brought to us by the Operation Wealth Creation.
Oh, you have tried?
Yes. I have a garden very near here.
Okay.
With the apples, and they are doing well.
Very well. Thank you. Now, I am glad, because when I came from the bush, I visited this area, and I found them growing maize. You know, you leaders, you have got a very big issue. If you are a leader, you are the one to see for the people. The Banyankore have their bad proverbs, which sometimes can be misunderstood. But the Banyankore say, "Ameshogomfu no mwekoreire." The eyes of the dead body are the eyes of the one carrying the dead body. If the one who is carrying the dead body falls in a pit, the dead body also will fall in the pit. So, if you, the leaders, you don't see for the people, because this Africa is not like USA or like Europe. One day, I visited a place called Minnesota, and they have a cooperative there of dairy farmers called Land of Lakes. When I entered their meeting place, you find a farmer has got a master's degree in agriculture. This is the farmer. The farmer himself is a scientist. So these ones, you don't have to bother with them to tell them do this, do that. They know what to do. although the educational level in Uganda is coming up now, but it is still has some distance. So when I came from the bush, I came here, I found they were growing a lot of maize. But this maize, and maize, because it is very cold here, maize here takes 9 months. Can you imagine? These Bateso don't know that. They don't know that maize here takes 9 months. And as you can see, the land is already fragmented. They don't have much, they don't have very big pieces. So there's no way, and the harvest from 1 acre, how much do you get from 1 acre? Maize, somebody come and tell me here, in the hills here.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Normally when the yield is fair, you get 40 bags per acre.
And that's how much money is that?
Yeah, if you get a better price of 100,000, that will be 4 million.
4 million?
Yes. In a year.
In a year?
Yeah.
So you can see, and what is the average land holding here?
The average land holding here is roughly 3 acres.
3?
Yes.
3
averagely.
3 acres?
Yes, per person. Yes, per family.
You can see with 3 acres,
yes.
Sit down. You have put 1 acre under food.
Your Excellency, I also wanted to add on that he has not given the inputs that are put in the maize before you get the 40 or the 30 or 40 acres.
Of course we know, we shall have to deduct them from the 4.
Exactly. Fertilizer for planting, fertilizer for putting after weed for topping, and even spraying. So at the end of the day, you have nothing if you have to cost it.
Yes.
Thank you.
So that's why, even at that very early stage in our government, I said, you people, you are not doing what they call in Ateso, IMAR correctly. IMAR, Echibaro. You are not doing the Echibaro correctly. What do you call Echibaro in Asabi?
We call it Kubarek.
Ubaren, okay.
Yes.
Ubaren, which is the...
Your Excellency, it is unfortunate that our Honorable has used a different term, but the right word is Chiti.
Chichi.
Chiti.
Titi.
Chiyiti.
Chiyiti.
Chiti.
Chiyit.
Chiyit.
Chiyiti.
But Your Excellency, you also raised that at a good yield out of 1 acre is 40. But in reality, when we look at the majority of the households in Sabay sub-region, the majority are poor people.
Yes.
So without these fertilizers, other inputs, there is a way, if they do very well, it can be like 20 bags.
Okay.
And the best one can be 25 to 30. That is with inputs put in.
Okay.
So there is still a lot that we need to do. We need to leave the maize and go for other better things. Thank you.
Your Excellency, the simple word for you is ET, the one you learned last time.
Oh, ET. ET. So the ET was not coming. And that's why I recommended at that time that you people, you leave maize and do, I don't know why they said wheat. I don't know who said wheat. What did they eat for wheat? Why did you prefer wheat that time? Who can help us?
Your Excellency, that time when we preferred wheat is because you had promised to give us the combine harvesters that was going to help. But later we realized that wheat grown in large quantity, you'll get the impact than growing in small quantities, 1 acre, 2 acres. That is the disadvantage. But initially, we thought we'd get it well when we have a big farm with the combine harvesters. Thank you.
So, wheat only makes money when combine harvester needs to big area. It was very expensive to move it from one small to. So I think now the ET must be around coffee. What is the coffee here? The Arabica. What is it? What the ET? If it is done properly.
Your Excellency, sir, for Arabica here, when it does well, you do approximately 9.5. But this year, the price has been extremely well. Right now, we are trading a kilo at 18,000. That means we are able to do close to 20 million per acre.
20 million per acre per?
Yes. Per year, per annum.
Per annum?
Yes, per acre.
You harvest how many times?
We harvest once, Your Excellency.
You harvest once.
However, Kapchorwa is within this stretch of about, say, 400, not 400 approximately. Anyhow, this Kapchorwa has about 3 zones in one. Within this extreme end, you can only do a maximum of 1 season per annum. When you go to the lower area, if there was a provision to irrigate, we would actually do 2 seasons.
Oh, because of the warmer.
Because of the warmer and availability of water. The challenge has, however, also been the practice of harvesting has been very poor.
Oh, okay.
And we injure the coffee.
Oh, okay.
So if the coffee gets some water immediately, it is able to heal and start producing. So that has been one of the challenges. But with water down in the areas like Kasarem, we can do 2 seasons in a year.
And that would give you quite something.
Yeah, that would go. This past year, someone would easily go away with 40 million.
40 million, yes. That's why. Yes. Thank you. What are you saying, your daughter?
Your Excellency, an acre of coffee takes about 650 coffee trees. And here along the slopes of Mount Elgon, where we grow Arabica coffee, at least with good management, we get 5 kilos to 10 kilos per coffee tree. So with 5 kilos has an average times 650, you get the total. Then I request somebody to do mathematics. 650 times 5.
Tell me the money. Me, I want the money.
So currently, as you've heard, a kilo of coffee parchment is 18,000. But when you add value to it, hauling it to green bean, ready for export, we sell it at 25,000 per kilogram. So in our rural setting, a poor farmer who has 300 coffee trees, his or her livelihoods can improve, Your Excellency.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. The other man wanted to say something. There was somebody wanted to say something here.
Yeah, His Excellency. I'm called Labu Stephen. I'm acting chairman NRM Kapchorwa district. I'm also a farmer. I'm a coffee farmer. And I'm a model farmer. I've been fitted with a tractor on the under nuts program. But I had planted the 3 acres of coffee trees, and that one is cutmore.
Remove your mask so that you can hear well.
Me, I had planted the cutmores, almost 3,000 trees. And I see one tree of a catimo. I can pick cherries like 25 kilos. And if you calculate it for me, because it was too much.
This is Arabica.
This
is Arabica coffee.
Yeah, but it is a catimos. You know, there are almost 3 types of coffee.
One type of Arabica.
Yeah, but me had planted
the good one or the best one or what?
But I see this one is the best one. It is catimos, but this one can give us good yield because I have it like 3 acres. But if you pick one tree, you can get 25 kilos.
Okay.
Those ones are cherries. And
how much do you get in an acre in a year?
In like the other last year, I got almost 23 million per acre, which I see because I see that one was more than. There is this one LC14. That one can give less, but this one can give us more.
Okay.
This one is Catmos.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So you see that's why we are saying that in the parish development model, we must insist on the YIT. And that's why in my booklets, I have insisted on the 7 activities: coffee, fruits, dairy farming, poultry, piggery, fish farming if you are near water, and food crops. I'm insisting on that. So I'm glad people here went from maize to something else. Now, with I have got your message, my staff, the message of Kapchorwa, of Sebe, a seed multiplication center for Irish potatoes. They are now getting it from very far, from Karengere. There's a government center there in Kigezi. But I think what you are talking about, yes, the research center can remain there in Karengere, but the multiplication center here should be here so that people get the seedlings from nearby. For Irish potatoes, my staff. Improved bulls for zero grazing cows, for Frisians. I totally agree. I'll work on that. And especially if you give me some land, then that will be one of the sources for the good bulls, which can give good milk. About political representation, RDC, I have noted that. Thank you so much, the people of Sebe. Your points were all very developmental. The Wagisu are very happy with the Mbare Bumbor Waha road. I know more about that road than you fellows, because I walked on it on foot. For you are just driving and zooming around. There is where the Maraba River disappears underground, up there in the mountain. You know the place? Yeah, that's where I slept. We slept there. We spent the night there. Now, that's why I said, Aba Masaba, Baruhoroma, Ebirimu Kamakis. That's why I said the Bamasaba are now talking total sense. Because they are talking of urbanization. Remove us from the danger area of the mountain let us stop committing aggression against Mama Wefe, my Wefe. My Wefe, let us okumuleka bukuna. Mama Wefe kumuleka bukuna, to leave the mother naked. Let's go in the valleys and build there and use Mama Wefe respectfully so that she can also look after us. Because all this water is coming from there, the rivers. So the more the deeper you go into the mountain, the more you damage the springs, the sea severe. So we shall definitely develop a program around this, see how to support these communities. I will sit down and think how to help them with the mabati, maybe with cement. Maybe we shall have to see how to work it out. So that families can have like a house to live in, another one to rent or something like that. To have livelihood other than from that type of agriculture. Or if you do agriculture, you do the safe one, like the coffee. If the coffee is like a forest, if the forest people approve coffee that it is strong enough, the roots are strong enough to hold the soil, we can allow it. Now the spokesman, this Wanda you are related to Maumbe? Because Maumbe used to tell me about Wanda. Yes, Maumbe used to tell me about Wanda.
The late Maumbe is my uncle.
Okay.
We're in the same family.
You used to tell me.
Thank you.
So, he's talking of heavy tractors for the lowlands and the walking tractors for the mountains. Upgrading the Ruahaha border post to an international one so that some of the traffic going to South Sudan doesn't have to go through Malaba. It can come through here and then the Bamasava. What do you call Okulembeka in Rumasava? Gutatirisa. Gutatirisa. That is what we call Aiga Akipi in Ateso. Aiga Akipi. To Kulembeka, to trap water from the roof. Tourism roads, city roads. Now, all these, of course, depend on the budget. In principle, we agree, but the budget, as long as we have it in the plan, we shall do it as money becomes available. And as we discipline ourselves also to spend more. Because I had pushed the budget of Ministry of Works to 6,400 billion. But recently I found it had gone back to 4,000 billion. This is not good. It should maintain it there. Then we can cover more of these roads. You are now talking Ebirum Kamagezi because you are saying water, Bugisu, Sebei have a lot of water. Yes, we have a lot of water, so let's preserve it and use it for irrigation. In the lowlands, instead of destroying the granary of water of Uganda, then we think that we are doing something sensible. No. So once we agree on the environment, it will be easier to support irrigation sustainably. A public university, our policy is to build a public university per zone. Those 18 zones of independence, because at independence, we had 16 districts. Bugisu, Bukedi, and so on. Then we added these two. We added Sebe as a new district, or the smaller one, and Madi Onama seceded from West Nile. So that's why me, the old timer, the one who was here, because I was here watching. So when you fellows you are running around, I say, you fellows, why do you go back to the 18 zones? Because these were the districts. And that's my plan is to have a public university in each one of those. We now already have in about 10. We have in Acholi, Lango, Teso, even West Nile, we have. We have in Fort Portal, Toro. We have in Shigezi Kawari University, we took over Church of Uganda one. We have Bukedi, Busitema. We have Busoga, Busoga Namasagari. And then the ones in Uganda, we have, those are a bit of oversubscribed. So we are coming. We shall have to have a public university in Bugisu, and even in Sebe, they should have their own. And then Karamoja, I think we are many with a few. I have not counted them properly, but I think we are many with a few now. Because Mubende, in Uganda, Mubende was a zone. And Masaka was a zone. And what they called Mengo. There were 3 zones in Buganda. There was Mubende, which has produced the Chibogas, the Mitianas, the Chankwanzis. These are all from Mubende. Then the Masaka has produced the Karangara, Chotera, this one Sembabure, this one Bukomansimbi, Kalungu, all those are from the Masaka. So these are the zones we are talking about. You have got a free consultant, you don't have to pay me. I'm here just... Because you know, I have really cheated you people. The only one who is competing with me here is Barteka. He's the only one competing with me here. Because you can imagine, I was 18 years old at independence and already very active, following everything I was following. I was in S2 that time, but following very, very active already. So there's nothing that I don't know that has been happening here all this time. Now, district hospitals, it's just money. That's why we concentrate at least on the easy things to do, the prevention. Because once you have a health center 3, you can immunize, you can do prevention. Then with the money we shall build the district hospital. The plan is there, but the money. Bududa Circular Road, that one we're always talking about. Now, with the TESO, the spokesperson acknowledged that there was some peace now, but wants total disarmament. I totally agree with him. We don't want any partial this time. Because as somebody was saying, as long as you have this, what you call chronic insecurity, it may not be epidemic, but it is chronic. It comes, then it stops a bit, then it comes again. You can't develop. You can't develop. I'm going to Karamoja. I will talk to the Karamoja. Some of their leaders are really confusing them. They don't tell them the truth. Some, you can imagine an LC3 person was killed. He was raiding, he was killed. An LC3, I think he was a vice chairman of an LC3 sub-county in one of the Cotido. He was killed recently. He was from where? Huh?
Your Excellency is from Napumpum.
Napupu.
Napumpum.
Remove your mask and I hear properly.
It is Napumpum, sub-county in Cotido district. Napumpum.
Napumpum.
Yes.
Oh. You can imagine, a leader was raiding. So you can see why the people are not helped. You know the way I helped Banyankore, I was really very tough with them. Telling them the truth, nothing to Nani. Yeah. Even when I went to fight, because those Banyankore were mainly DP. In the elections of 1962, Ankole had 6 constituencies, and 4 were taken by DP. In spite of the cheating by UPC, you know the thing they were doing here, the Bariteka issues, where you had North Bujusu. How can you have North Bujusu with the Sebei? What was it for? A constituency just made to taking some sub-counties of Sebei, putting them with the ones of Bugisu, so that they make it impossible, because Chemongis was a DP. And I think they were trying to make him fail. So there, in Ankole, in spite of all those tricks, still DP won 4 constituencies out of 6. UPC got only 2, the one of Katiti, CB Katiti, and Ibinjira, we'll see Ibinjira. But also by cheating. So, those people were DPs. But when Amin came, I opposed him. Now, the Banyankole said, oh, Kauguta's son is a vagabond. How can he? They invited Idi Amin and they gave him 800 cows. Can you imagine? Idi Amin was given 800 cows by those Banyankole. Because they were against Obote, so anybody against Obote is good. But I said from the word go, I cannot support Idi Amin. So they said Kaguta's son has become a vagabond. Echirare is a vagabond. But I insisted. So eventually when I came back, they, oh, you are now Moses. the one who was a vagabond had now become a savior, the one who came to save. I said, but I told you, how can you go on supporting wrong things just because of hatred, because of bias? You must tell the leader the truth. The people must tell them the truth, never to try to. So this Karamajong needs to be told by their own people that what you are doing is wrong, you should stop. Yeah. I'm going there, I will talk to them. Now, the security roads, I totally agree. The water points for the soldiers, the underlying factors. That's why I advised the minister, you heard what she was talking about, the goats project. I think goats are one project which can move very quickly. Because goats produce a lot. These Karachuna, these young boys, when they bring gun, you give him a goat. You bring the gun, you give him goats, like that. So, and the goats can manage that harsh condition. Then even projects like honey, like Gamma Arabica, the projects are there. For the inter-district border quarrel, that one I've already told you, don't please. I will tell the Prime Minister, Nabanja, you know my young girls, the young girls, Arupo, Nabanja, very tough people. Don't play around with those girls. Nabanja, once she comes with her volume here, walking. If you try to play around, you may end up in jail. So Nabanja will come. This is not an issue of politics. Please, you tell your people, whoever they are, whether Kanamajongo or Teso, this is not politics, this is survey. The counties are known, these districts are known. Karamoja district, with its counties, they are all there in the map of Ministry of, even if they changed, like Mzee Barteka was saying, there was the map of 1958, and then he's saying that they brought another one. The one not of 1958, but maybe of post-independence. If it was post-independence, then we cannot accept it. It must be the map of 9th of October, 1962, because that is the principle of the African Union. We just accepted it to avoid trouble. Otherwise, Africa would be in wars forever over the borders. The borders which changed were the ones of Buganda, because it was agreed before independence that the lost counties, they should have a referendum, and whatever the referendum decided, that's how the two counties of Buyaga and Buganga is what is now Chibare district. That's how they got out of Buganda, because it was agreed before independence. There are other areas of Buganda which are not, they don't recognize Mengo, like Nakasongora, they don't recognize Mengo. But we say you are still in Buganda because if you don't recognize Mengo, that's no problem. They don't sing. If you go to Nakasongora, don't sing Kitibo cha Buganda. You may not come back. But we said those are your issues. As far as we are concerned, Nakasongora is of Buganda. It is in the constitution. It is of Buganda as far as the region is concerned. So we cannot fight for those boundaries, no. So Nabanja will come with the surveyor to show you the surveyor here, finish. No round table by the girl Nandutu. Round table, what's the round table for what? There's no round table, it's just survey. This is where the bad. So the same principle for Kataku and Kapela Biong, you just show the border, finish. This does not, Jacob Olanya, our speaker who died recently. He has been a member of parliament for many years from Omoro. Omoro is in Acholi. But Oranje is a Rangi. Because there are many Rangi in Acholi. Some of the sub-counties of the what, they are Rangi people there. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you are. If the body is passing, if they are Karamojong on this side of Kaperabiong, they stay. Don't touch them. Don't say you go back. If you say that, you are breaking the constitution, we send you to jail. If they have a Teso on the side or on the other side, they stay. So there is no problem at all. The same here. If the body is passing here, there's some Sabini on that side, they stay. But just on this side, they stay. Finish. Dams for water, very good. This is our spokesman from Usuk. Health centers, cassava processing. But they are now talking. Because we have already, we are helping Archbishop Odama in a church. We are helping him with the processing cassava there. This cassava has got a lot of things in it. First of all, you can get flour out of it for food. That's what I eat myself. I eat kalo all the time. Millet with the flour of millet mixed with the flour of cassava. Very nice food. So you can get flour. You can get industrial alcohol from that. You can make petrol out of cassava. We can make industrial starch. The sanitizers, there's nothing you cannot make from cassava. Animal feeds to support the dairy industry. So I will definitely work on supporting cassava processing in Teso. Just as we are doing in Acholi with Mzee Odama. Now, you are telling me that matters of cattle compensation, there is Kawukumi there. Kawukumi is the Uganda word for the banana weevil, not banana, the bean weevil, and maize. What do you call it in Ateso? That insect which goes into the...
Your Excellency, it's called... In Ateso, the bean weevil is called Esipiran.
Esipiran.
Yes, sir.
Esipiran. And what do you call it in the Kapshorwa?
In Sebei, my sister, the Mutesa is correcting me. Yet I'm the pure note of the soil, Sebei. It is called Monguk. Monguk.
That is Rinyankore now.
Monguk.
Emungwe, that's Rinyankore. That's Rinyankore.
I think we share.
Yes. Emungwe is Rinyankore.
Yes.
Thank
you.
And in Roma Sava,
No Masaba, Your Excellency, says Shiku. Yeah.
This one is removed from the list of the Mama Saba.
Hey, that's the correct thing, Your Excellency. It is called Shiku because it attacks the maize, it attacks even the beans.
Okay. Huh?
Your Excellency, we have what we call inflections. Those of us in the south, we say Siku. These ones in the central say Shiku, but otherwise it is Siku.
No, the pronunciation can be different.
Your Excellency, Shiku, they are mistaken. Shiku is found in animals, but this one particularly in the bean weevil is called Imburu. It's called Imburu.
Imburu.
Yes. But Shiku is any other insect. Your Excellency,
the Badadili from North Bugisu, we call it Zimbutu.
Zimbutu.
Zimbutu. Or one is Imbutu.
Oh.
Many Zimbutu.
I can see now why. I can see now. I can see now why the Bagusu need umukuka. Because they need somebody to put them together. This one is saying this one. Because in the past, the Mama Saba were Republicans. Each local area were doing their own things. They are like Bachiga. Bachiga, you know, in each valley they had their own government, and they were hiding there because invading them was difficult in the mountain. So they could just hide in the valley there and stay there. And the Banyankore and the Banyoro and the Banyarwanda kill one another in the lowlands, where the Bachiga are just sitting in the hills. So I think that's how the Bagisu. So it seems there is the other one in the compensation. There is some, but the Attorney General was supposed to be here. Is he here? Attorney General. You had come here for something else. You are hearing that there is Kawukumi in the compensation.
Yes, Your Excellency.
Uh-huh.
Your Excellency, yes, the honorable member is correct. We had a problem in the beginning which was brought to our attention. Because we had little money, as you had explained, only 50 billion, we wanted to make sure that everyone gets some of that money. So the formula we had used made a mistake, and some people were getting less than one cow. But that has been corrected, and we are making reports to the Vice President and the Speaker, and we lay it before Parliament every 2 weeks with the names of the people who have been compensated and the amount of money they have received. And we have sent one recently, and we have so far sent out 32 billion shillings.
So you should not have given a non-cow to anybody.
Yes, and we apologize for that, honorable leaders. We are really sorry. That was our mistake, but we have since corrected it. Thank you, Excellency.
Now that the cows are coming back, we should not forget the industries which are connected with the cows. I totally agree. The dairy farming, we shall support you by putting coolers of milk, but even reviving the meat pack. You know, there was a Sorot meat packers there. Now, about the roads, I know those roads, It is just a question of the money. I know the Kumi, Ngora, Serere, Kagwara, Bugondo Road. I know the one of which I like most, the one of Soroti, Amuria, Obaranga, Achanpi, all the way to Otuke, Tabim. I know that. I even know the ones of Kaberamaido, or Ochero, and all those places. So I know them, but the question is the money. So you support because for me, I never support Ainyam. I never support Ainyam. I support always production. I always support wealth creation. But some people support Ainyam. The budget is diverted to these Ainyam issues. These chakula ya leo things. You can even hear now they are putting pressure that we stop roads, we put money in subsidizing fuel, subsidizing bread. But this is a temporary problem. How can we abandon our development program because of this one called subsidies and so on? So I want you to really be clear, because some of these things, like what we did here, I was almost, in 2006, I called the 6th parliament, that parliament of that time, and I said, you people, if you don't put more money on the roads and on electricity, we shall fall out. Because remember, we had elections in 2006 and 6 early, but it had started 2005 when there was load shedding. You remember that load shedding? Because we had not invested in electricity, we had not invested in transport, that they were waiting for donors. The donors had told your people, these civil servants, behind my back, they had told them that your Uganda government money, use it for recurrent expenditure. For development budget, the donors will give you the money. But they never gave us any money for the dams, for the roads, for the railway, nothing. So that's when I called the MPs of that time, and we set up this money for the roads, for the power. That's how you can that's how Kapchorwa has got power. Kapchorwa had no power. Kapchorwa, Kwen, I think it has got to Bukwa now. They have no power. All these areas, Moroto, no power. Amuria, no power. These Kaberamaidos, it is because of that budgeting of 2006. So, support me to put more money away from consumption to development. Then we can cover all this. Cashew nuts, very good. That's a very good crop. We can support its processing and marketing. It has also got good oil, I think, in it. Soroti University. That's what I keep telling you. Because they would say, oh, bring a university here. Okay. I can bring the university, but you find that the people who are going there are not Bateso. Because the families, either the children, because when the children excel, they go there on government's sponsorship. But children can do well, but not be among the ones who get government sponsorship. They have all the points, But because the parents don't have money to pay, they don't go. The university is there, but full of people from other areas. I think that's what you are talking about here now. Yes. This is what I keep telling you. These bishops need to do more work. Because I end up preaching, doing their work of preaching. Because it says, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven and his righteousness. The rest will be added unto you. This is what the Bible says. We, the NRM, we always tell our people, seek ye first homestead incomes, and the rest will be added. Because if the families had income, they would pay for private sponsorship in the university. But you can have a university there in Soroti or in Gulu, but full of people from Kawempe. I totally agree that I need a dedicated meeting for the people with the leaders of TESO. We shall organize the same dedicated meetings for the zones. The 18 zones, we shall have time, Omona, like in the month of August, please organize a whole day for TESO, a whole day for Bugisu, a whole day for Sebe, a whole day for all these, there are 18 of them. The TESO, the Sorot Airport, the runway to be expanded. That we have been wanting to expand that runway so that international flights can land there. Because you see, with this this campaign we are telling you, parish development model, there will be so much product, like fresh fruits. And TES is already growing a lot of fresh fruits. It would be very good, instead of taking the fruits first to Entebbe, add the cost of transport, if they can be flown straight from there to Europe. Now, Tisai Island, I know it very well. I have never been there, but I follow it because of the cattle raiding, because it is in the middle of Lake Bissina. And sometimes when the water of the lake is down, Karamujong could even walk and get to the island and come and raid. So I'm sorry to hear that they don't have a health center. I will now go, and if they remind me, I will take it up for Tisai Island. You talked of BKK ferry. Which ferry is this? Obukungu, Kagwara, Kaberamaido. Oh, okay. But you did not thank me for the one over Lake Bissina. Very good. So, thank you very much. We have had a very good discussion with these my war leaders from the districts. I thank you, everybody. Now, with that beauty there.
Your Excellency, I am sorry for coming at the end of your speech, but there is something that has really haunted me.
And who are you? Who are you, first of all?
I am, by name, Chemtai Susan. I am the District Councillor, LC 5, Kapchora District. And in this case, Your Excellency, our leaders have talked a lot, but I just want to make a supplement on a very important issue. And Your Excellency, we really beg that you give us a referral hospital. This thing we have always sung about it, and it is always a song in Kapchora District.
we really beg that the people get at least a referral hospital. On top of that, Your Excellency, I am also requesting on behalf of the people of Kapchorwa that at least we get an ambulance. The ambulance that is in place is just giving moisty. It is so, I don't know, it has broken down and we don't have an ambulance. And Your Excellency, we shall be very grateful as a district if you consider our request. Thank you so much, Your Excellency.
Chemtai, I think sit down. Thank you so much. Sit down. Chemtai, I think the ambulance, I will take it up. I don't know I will take it up. But the referral hospitals, I will go and check the plan. Really for health, because 80% of the health is prevention. You have seen how we have controlled corona even when we had no medicine, by prevention. Now with the vaccine, you have seen how again we are moving with corona. Many of these diseases can be prevented. So if you care about your people, talk about prevention. Prevention means, number one, immunization. Immunize against, there are 13 diseases that can be immunized against. Then after you deal with the immunizable diseases, you deal with the diseases from bad water. By providing water, you are getting rid of so many diseases. Typhoid, what, those ones. Then the latrines, latrine cover. Then malaria, controlling the mosquitoes, using treated bed nets, using all those measures anti-malaria. Then why you need the health center 3s is because of you, the grandchildren who are delivering there. The antenatal, the midwifery services, then nutrition, good nutrition. So when you emphasize, by the time you get to a referral hospital, you are already going towards death. So Chemtai, don't emphasize the final point. Because people who go to referral hospital, they are already very sick. They are already very sick. You can prevent 80% of the sickness. This is the message you should be giving our people. Now, we are now having what we call non-communicable diseases. People are now dying from wealth. Do you have a doctor here? A medical doctor? Do you have a medical doctor here? Come. Is that a medical doctor? Come. Omona. That is the private secretary. Leave him. Come, doctor.
His Excellency, I'm not a medical doctor, but I'm a senior medical clinical officer.
Okay.
But I can answer.
You tell us about the non-communicable diseases.
Yeah, these ones are diseases which originate, as you have said, from bad feeding. People develop obesity, and they bring blood pressure, high blood pressure, diabetes, and others like cancers.
Yes.
Yes.
These are now. So, we should, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Chembutai. Is that Chembutai? No.
No. Your Excellency, I'm Honorable Chair Kutros Emma, District Manepi Kwen. I stand still on the issue of a referral hospital. You find out that the hospital that we have here in Kapchorwa is at district level.
Yes.
So when you reach Kwen, which is my district, we don't have a district hospital. When you reach Bukwa, I'm talking for the whole of Sebei region.
So you want for Sebei region?
At least for the whole of Sebei region.
Okay,
this area is so mountainous. We have pregnant women.
Let's not quarrel about that.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
We shall work on 18 referral hospitals for the 18 zones. We work on the 18 public universities. But listen to my own messages, which are seeking first, homestead income first, then you talk about public universities. Because otherwise you will have public university where your child is not. Number two, what is the lady, the one from the Queen woman MP? Come and tell me your name. Your name?
My name? Honorable Cherukut.
Cherukut.
Rose Emma.
Cherukut.
Yes.
Now, I have heard your point.
Hey, former RDC Kapchorwa.
Okay, Cherukut. Now, I have heard your point. You hear mine. Stay on the microphone. I have heard your point. Your point, you want a referral hospital.
Yes.
For Kapchorwa. For
Sebei sub-region.
Sebei zone.
Yes.
Now, my points are two.
Yes.
Seek ye first, homestead income first. And the rest will be added unto you.
Now Your Excellency.
Linda ko, ngoja kidogo. Then, when it comes to health, prevention is better than cure. Have we agreed now? I've agreed to your referral, but you also agreed to my 2 points.
I've agreed.
So everybody has heard that we have agreed.
But of course, for a better household improvement, we need a very healthy population. And therefore, the need for that referral. I appreciate Your Excellency.
Cherukut.
Yes, sir.
I think I must really insist and help you. By the time you go to a referral hospital, the health matters are, you can no longer work properly. So what I want is as many of Sebei as possible not to go to the referral hospital. So I am, for me, referral prevention health arrangement. I don't want anybody to go to the referral hospital, because by the time you go to a referral hospital, you are in a bad situation. So I agree with the referral, because we want to keep our people already sick, to keep them for long. But more important, prevention is better than cure.
Most obliged, my lord.
Thank you. Eyarama, Kaitabon, Mwanyaranavi,
Yes, we have to pray. Your Excellency, we have to wind up with the word of prayer. This has been a very important day.
Very good.
Your Excellency. May I invite Archbishop Bobo to come and say a closing prayer. Thank you, Your Excellency, but also my 5 minutes.
Before we have this prayer, I would like to congratulate
all of us, and we thank His Excellency for giving us this moment at this area, and also inviting me to attend. We thank God for this. Lord God, we thank you for the good gift of life you have given to us, and especially after the pandemic moment of COVID. We know COVID is still on us, and we know your protection to your children. And especially, we thank the President for having insisted with us, and sometimes even seriously, that we keep ourselves indoors for some time. We thank him for this moment of taking care of the insecurity which is trying to come back because of our weaknesses and maybe greediness in life and our other falsehood that we do in our lives. May peace come back. May peace be with us. May peace be in these regions, and may peace be for Uganda through Christ our Lord.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Anthems, please.
So you have seen how you have seen how beautiful Kapchorwa is. And I always wonder why Africans go abroad. Me, I only go abroad as a punishment.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. A small word, our visitors. We would like to advise our drivers who will be driving you back. Please, as you go back, let them be very careful on sloping. You know, sometimes when you drive coming up, it's not the same as going down. Please, thank you.
And members of the meeting, there is transport refund. Please stay behind so that you can be facilitated to replace your fuel. Thank you.
Yes.